Hello. How's everyone doing? I'm in the middle of a duel at the moment. We got a little bit... I want to say we got a little bit unlucky. I think we're probably about to die. But we did what we could. We did what we could. We got an unfortunate whiff off of Requiem here. But hello, everyone. Welcome. I usually would do a proper introduction, but we're in a point battle that started an hour ago. So we're just kind of still mid-point battle. So we just thought we'd just hop in. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Make sure everything's correct audio-wise. Everything looks fine. So that's excellent. That is excellent. But hello, guys. We have Sweet Tricks in the chat. We have Sora Mir in the chat. We have Corey. And we have Hit. Hello, hello, everyone. We have Giorfio as well. Hello, hello, Giorfio. Welcome, welcome on in. So we probably should have won this game. But there was no way... So we could have either... I could have guaranteed the Requiem effect to land at least once. But if I did that, I wouldn't have had enough bodies left over to actually do enough damage, right? So if I just had a 39 and a 16, that's not enough to kill, right? So it was like, I either do that or I do this. So we've gone for this. This is the best that we had. Our opponent has already used their skill, so he is completely at the mercy of his top decks. But he has just hit double Pale Rider. So whereas we whiffed, he's got 2 hits. Which is quite unfortunate. I think we're probably dead since he still has 4 cards in his hand. What has happened here for him to get so much advantage? So he activated his skill. Oh, he's playing Tearfing the Destroyer. That's what's happened. Right, it all makes sense now. He's playing the OTK version. And, are you kidding? Did he actually just... Guys, I have just been sacked off the face of the earth. So not only did we completely whiff our forbidden effect, our opponent double hit naturally off theirs, and then got 3 level 4s off of Chrysaor to get double Giga Sack. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. I mean... And it was Dwan! Dwan just giga-sacked us off the face of the planet. Holy shit. That is so sad. That is so sad. Bruh. Bruh. Hello, Mr. Twat. It says, so, what's this gameplay? I want to see Excel spreadsheets, pie charts, and website data. We'll do that when the point battle's over. It's only about 25 minutes left. I cannot believe that just happened. We just got... That was like the maximum high roll possible from Dwan there. That really was like the giga high roll. We had to whiff all of ours to not get lethal. And he absolutely got everything he needed just off the top. Feels bad, man. Alright. This is probably Dwan again. Although I don't remember what map they were using, so it might not be. Something I should probably pay attention to be honest. Okay, so we have that already. I guess we start with Pog either way. We have 2 of those ready to go. The question is, can we maintain? We probably can. So I think we probably just go White Rider effect straight up and see if we can hit something here. Well, that's already quite good. I don't really need it, but we have it. Okay, so now I want to go summon. We need to send something to the graveyard, which could be that. Use that to get it back. That works out quite well, as long as I don't whiff. So we'll go Stalk. Activate Stalk effect. No. Send this. Change name. Summon out Cataphract. Activate Cataphract. Yeah, we did not whiff. Add this back to hand. Then we go into Forbidden Requiem here. So we want to do that, which means the best way to go about this is... Ideally, I want both of these back in the deck, but that's not happening no matter how I do this. We can't make another one. So I think we are just going to do this now then. So we'll pop this on top. We won't draw. We'll go ahead and activate the effect. Again, just the one hit. Feels a little bit bad, but it is what it is. Then we can get this out for 1 tribute. Summon this out. Set this. Go to battle. We'll just swing over everything. Get him for 39. But yeah, if we got one more hit, then we would have had lethal there. Tiffing is very popular in Japan. Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me. I don't get why Gearpolder's limit 1. Gearpolder's limit 1 exclusively to stop people from playing limit 1 cards, right? It's just we don't want spellcasters having Pot of Greed or... I guess Pot of Greed's going to be the big one. Triple Requiem off the top there. Triple Requiem. Okay, well, I mean, as long as he can't pop the back row, we are Gucci. So the sad thing is going to be, if he just has Dark Matter Contact, there's not really a lot we can do about it. Oh, we have not put ourselves into streamer mode as well. We'll go ahead and do that now. Ah, and there it is. That is annoying, because that's just going to force it out, which means we're probably going to lose this game as well. Again, just down to the fact that we whiffed. Sort this out. Now they've hidden streamer mode away. There we go. Or hidden away. There we go, nicely. I mean... he doesn't necessarily have access to what he needs. Either way we do this, we have to discard this. There's no reason not to flip this down. There's no real reason to flip either of these down, so we'll just leave them up. Now, what's the punish? Like, Curse? But usually you wouldn't play Curse in this deck. There's no real reason to. Scared of people summoning 3 and having an unbreakable one. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's more like how you would expect that matchup to go. Alright, we'll try and wait a little bit, because this has been happening a lot, where I keep getting the same players, like, back-to-back. Like, I had this player back-to-back, we had now back-to-back, and we had Dwan back-to-back. I don't really want to play against a bunch of people, because, again, we're not trying to, like, win the point battle. That's not really our objective. Our objective is to get some good testing in against actual good decks, because, I don't know, you guys have probably experienced this. When you play on the ladder, you play against a lot of crap. You play against just a lot of people that don't give a shit, a lot of people that scoop immediately, a lot of people that are just playing wacky shit because they just do not care, which is why I always find that tournaments and point battles, especially like Japanese point battles where people do tend to take it a bit more seriously, are the best place to test decks. So let's take a look quick and see what's going on here. So Prisoner Tomato is currently in first place. Can we see what deck they are on? Do we have the technology? Are they currently in a game? I'm just curious. Looks like they are not currently in a game. Looks like they are probably trying to just keep their rank. Because there is a prize for winning this. You do get like an in-game thing. So it does make sense. What is Liluan? Is that someone that's currently playing? I would imagine they should. Oh, there's Prisoner Tomatoes right there. Let's check this out quick. I am the crap. V-Friend best deck. I think it's fine to be testing stuff, but if you're testing stuff and your opponent is also testing stuff, no one's really getting good data, are they? I've got the names off, so I don't actually know who is who, but I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that this player is Prisoner Tomato. Okay, so it looks like they are just playing the Dark Galaxy, which is something I've seen a lot. A lot of these players have been... A lot of the people that have been in first place have been playing the new Dark Galaxy deck, so... Alright. Let's go again. But, how's everyone in chat doing? You guys all enjoying the new product? You guys enjoying the new decks? I've been enjoying the new decks at the very least. I've been having a great time. So, we're going to play against this as if it is either Hero or Red Eyes, and because of that, I want lots of cards. That is kind of how I feel about this matchup. So, this hand is like, it would be so good going second. I think we're going to do this. This way, we have 3 monsters on the board, which is important against Red Eyes. 3 defensive makes it really hard for heroes. We've kept 2 cards in our hand, so we can't get cursed. And both of those decks can play curse. And it's Dark Magician. By the way, I hate Dark Magician. This deck is so annoying to play against. It's just like a Hail Mary Saki OTK deck. And either it just absolutely obliterates you, or it does nothing. And it is, like, so irritating to play against. On the plus side, I have played around it perfectly, because this deck usually doesn't have a good way to beat set 3 outside of Curse. I'm enjoying the old decks. I got to Cog with Dark Magician. Nice Pokemastery, and that's what we like to hear. Well, I did not enjoy how you OTK'd me, but to be honest, I guess it's my fault. It's one of those, like, I did open, like, very well, right? I had 3 trap cards down on the first turn, which meant it was very hard for you to break through what I had. Okay. He's kept a card in hand. That could be another high-level monster. Chances are he's got a Shady down there instead. Another Curse. Okay. Well, we have the Explorer, so we could try and force the back row. I don't really have anything I want to use with that, but there's nothing better to send back into deck at the moment. So, we'll summon out Globule, see if there's a delay. There is a delay. We'll flip you up, activate the effect. We're going to go straight into Probe, and then we'll see if he wants to use his Shady on this or not. Okay, activate the effect. We do hit a Shady. There might be another one back there, though. So now, the question becomes, I could... it's not going to be lethal. I think we have to add off of the skill to even have a chance to lethal. Because we'll have 39 plus this 2,000. That's still 100 off lethal. So I need another normal summon on top. Which means I think we just need straight up to grab a card off this, which is a shame. Because it means we might not have it, but I think here we grab Pale Rider. Draw into it. We will normal summon Explorer. There is another delay, so we had double Shady. Oh, that's annoying. So with that in mind then, what I could do is go Stalk. And then just go for that line. Alright, let's do it. I think here we just naturally do this. Summon this out. There's the second Shady. Alright, so we got that gone. We'll activate this now before we shuffle cards back into our deck. We'll flip this down, draw some cards. That's fine. Treat as 2 tributes, summon it out, summon this out. Go for the contact. We go 1, we go 2. Summon out the boy. MF Hum subscribed for 5 months. Thank you for the subscription. We always do appreciate it. Thank you, MF Hum.
Just subscribed for 5 months.
1700 defense. Can't clear it in any meaningful way, so I guess we do this. We'll go ahead and tribute over this. Activate the effect. Set. Go to battle, and then we just clear over both. Now, the downside here is I could easily just die on the crackback to this deck. Which, I mean, it sucks, but our opponent opened double Shady. We did have a way to play around it a little bit, but we just needed this to be another monster. Ooh, and that's not ideal for us. So now we just see if we're dead. Because this deck can just pull lethal out of their ass, like seemingly at random. So we just see if they have it. But he looks like he's not playing a great version of the deck, so we might just be fine. I didn't know your deck had lethal against the 1200 in attack. Well, not really, to be honest, because if he sets your stuff, then you should live. I mean, it comes down to... I would have to maintain 2 cards in my hand at all times. Otherwise, I'm at risk of dying, right? So I have to make sure that I have 3 monsters in defense, and I have 2 cards in my hand every turn, and that's the only way to guarantee I can't be killed, right? Otherwise, there's always a chance I'm just dead. Dark Galaxy, woo! Hello, Ursus, welcome on in. Yeah, not many spells. Hello, PTRG, welcome on in. I sure love DM. Hello, Volt. I really don't like DM because again, DM on paper should be like a really wacky, fun like spell deck, and it always just ends up being a silly OTK deck, right? To me, this is just high tech again. This is just high tech. Now, our opponent here is getting a little bit unlucky, or you know, I would maybe argue he hasn't built this deck very well, but. Usually he would be able to threaten lethal here. I mean, we don't have a way to recycle with this. Oh, we do have a way to recycle. It's a bit shitty, but we have a way to do it. So I could activate, get rid of 1, summon, discard, force 1 pop. How many cards does that leave us with? Use that, get that. 17 is... If we just make this, we just win, right? Just straight up. So I can just go stalk, activate the effect, no, then we discard, it shouldn't matter, I'll just discard this. Change name to Requiem, summon, we go 1, we go 2, summon this out, activate the effect, change this to defense, 43 minus 17, we just... Boom. Excellent. Excellent. We got there. We got there. We got there. Been gaming with executives. I find it wild. There are so many really cool, interesting decks, and you're still just going for, like, execute. Now, I get it. Like, Balloon, I guess, on paper, should be pretty good into that deck. Like, playing it within that deck. And, obviously, the new contact feature we got is cool. But I don't know, it doesn't strike me as, like, particularly interesting. But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. Hello, Manicist. I expected a Yap stream. Delightfully unexpected. There will be Yap. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about that. We playing the event decks? No. This is, I don't even know. Can you play event decks in duel rooms? I assume you can't. Alright, I am going to use this just because I think having no traps against this potential deck could be extremely detrimental. So I'm going to set. We're going to set, and set. And then we're going to pass. Not... Only having the... Maintaining 2 cards in hand can be very important for this matchup. Our opponent is probably going to go into Probe to pop our back row. Now it just comes down to, can he make Forbidden, and how many pops does he get off of Forbidden? That's what it's going to come down to. The event deck doesn't have Corridor. Exactly. D-Gala complaining about OTK decks. So D-Gala is, it's very random, right? In that you can get a pop off of, or at least this version of D-Gala, right? You can get a triple pop or a double pop off of your Forbidden Requiem and just win the game, just on the spot. That is enough to sometimes just end the game entirely. But it's random, right? Not all the time you're going to be able to get it. At most, you can force once, right? You can force 1 activation, and sometimes your hand won't let you, because even if you have the capability to make Forbidden without using the skill, chances are you're using too many resources to do it, that now you will only have like a 39, maybe a 2000 next to it, because you can quite easily make Probe. And then that in itself is only 59. So it's quite easy to get 59, pop your opponent's back row, and guarantee a pop on a monster, but that in itself isn't enough to actually win the game. So if you just get lucky, though, you just so happen to get a bunch of pops, it's kind of disgusting. It's actually kind of disgusting. Bro playing versus Tearfing as Gradius is so annoying. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello, Dwan. Welcome, welcome. Dark Galaxy is a slot machine deck. It kind of is, right? Because Tearfing always was a slot machine, right? So the way that we tried to remedy that is we just made the slot machine better, right? We just took... we took all of the, like, the skulls or the fails out of the deck, and then we just made it so it's almost all jackpots, right? If we just keep hitting monsters, we can't go wrong. With this version of the deck, you're only really playing 6 jackpots in the deck. Only 6 cards that you can land. Oh, he's playing the Universal Storm. Okay. So right now, this is looking absolutely fine for us. There's even a... Yes! Yes! Your 1300 is not big enough. Right. Unfortunately, we do lose the Pale Rider. Keeping that would have been nice, but we still get to keep a body, which is something. So let's see what we get here. What do we want to do with this? Again, we can just force the effect. How many are we missing? We're only missing 2, so we have 4 in deck. We can force 1 to pop that. We can deal with the back row. We'd have to do summon that, discard that, summon that, summon that. That would deal with everything. The problem is, it's not lethal, because he'd be on 100. And this is where the faults of the deck start to kind of creep in a little bit. So, with that in mind, instead, we could discard this, tribute over for that. That would potentially work. Okay, so let's start by, I guess, summoning this. Oh no, that does that work? It kind of works. Yes, it should work. Right. We will summon out you. No delay. We'll go ahead and make this by using 1 and 2. Summon this out. Activate the effect. We'll just get rid of the back row. Don't want to deal with that whatsoever. Then we'll go Stalk. Activate Stalk effect. We will not send cards from deck, because I will send this to the graveyard. Have this card's name become Requiem. Then we'll summon out Pale Rider. We'll go ahead and make Forbidden. Right, so now we're going to have to get a little bit lucky, but if we get just 1 hit, bearing in mind there are 5 other targets in the deck. We put this back in the deck. We will not draw it. Activate the effect. Okay, we did not get the double hit, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. I haven't actually calculated this damage. We're going to be... Are we 300 off lethal? We were close. Don't even need Tearfing, to be honest. The other fusion goes to 43, and Pierce, though, I did against Playmaker. Turn 1, I cannot blind make a fusion and pass, otherwise I might die to 1 pop. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Easily just set 3 if it's Tearfing, I might die. Exactly as well. That's the most annoying thing about Tearfing, is it feels like, especially when you queue in, and you don't know what the deck is, right? So if you queue in, and your opponent's on Tearfing, you might be like, okay, I need to play 1 monster in defense to play around it. But you don't know if your opponent's on Tearfing or if they're on the new Contact Dark Galaxy list. Which means if you're against that deck, you really need to set 3. So it's like, am I setting 3 to play around one deck? Am I setting 1 to play around another deck? And I have no idea which one it is until the hammer comes down, effectively. Just mill 3. True, but 1 curse plus the 4300 Pierce can be game. It can be, absolutely, but it's not always going to be, right? I'm probably not playing more games. 7200 should be enough for top 10. Ah, right, so you're playing to win, Dwan, I see. I was just playing a test decks, personally. For top 10, now you're taking the piss. I mean, there's 70 people playing. I think it was 69 at, like, last count. So, you know, you've just got to be in the top 10 out of the number of people that are entered, right? Okay. So he's going to make a 43 Pierce over my 16, which is super fine for me. The question is, what are those last 3 cards in the hand doing? Tomato, why? I trusted you. Why didn't you reserve my spot as first? I mean, that's up to you, Human Portuguese Stuff fan. I got no actual say over that. Okay, activate that. Flip down my big boy. Gets his 4300 Pierce. Activate Requiem. What's the last card in hand? It's a back row. If that's a Legend Trap, I might get bullied, and I don't like getting bullied. Down to 2,700. Come on. Come on. We can do this. This is just Giga Lethal, right? I don't think there's anything he can do to stop this. No matter what, I think we are fine. So, normal summon. Is there a delay? There is a delay! Oh god, there's a delay! I mean, we're fine. Activates Trap Hole. That's still fine. I'll summon out White Rider. We'll activate White Rider effect. Look at all of these cards I could take. Sure. I mean, I don't have a Globule, so there's no real reason to take that. So sure, I'll take you. Summon this out. Why am I still making this? There's no reason to anymore. Which means we can just do this. Summon this. Activate the effect. No. Send that. Doesn't matter. Become Requiem. Make this 1, 2. Big boy comes down. Welcome to town, big boy. Activate your effect. You can go face down. Go get him! Haha! Excellent. What about you set Galactica Oblivion? I don't think I have the capability to do that in this deck, to be honest. But I appreciate the gumption. 4,500 points is not awful. You don't actually get to play a ton of games, is kind of what... That was the first guy we played against, by the way. We managed to go full circle. So we played against Dark Galaxy Contact, Dark Galaxy Contact, Dark Galaxy Contact. Then we played against Gradius, Hero, Dark Galaxy Tearfing, Dark Galaxy Tearfing. No, wait, one of these can't have been. Oh, no, this guy, this player here, this was Dark Magician. Both of those were Dark Magician, and then this was Dark Magician as well. So we played against 3 Dark Magician. So 3 Dark Magician and 3 Dark Galaxy Fusion were like the top. Unfortunately, we're going to be not in the top 10, but nah, that's fine. It is what it is, right? So first place is Dark Galaxy. Second place, who are you? Let's have a look and see if you're around still. This one. So this is the second place guy. Again, unfortunately, I don't have the names on, so it might be a bit difficult to work out which one's which, but it should be quite apparent, right? We played 18 times? Holy. Again, for my games, I think it was the Dark Magician players tend to take a long time with their duels. Right. Let's spectate this game, because I'm curious to see what like the top people were playing. I got 6,500, which should be pretty safe. Nice! Congratulations. Well done. Yeah, for me, I think... I mean, I'm not like the fastest player. You guys all know I'm not the fastest player. I think, though, a lot of my really slow games were all the Dark Magician players. Because it was like, I'm playing around them OTKing me. So I have to like play in a certain way. And then they just had the inability to actually find the lethal line. Which just led to long games. Which sucks, but it is what it is, right? And again, like I said, I wasn't really after the in-game title or whatever it is. It's just... would have been nice to pick it up as like a souvenir, right? So this player is on Gradius. Is this Giorfio? Are we spectating Giorfio without even knowing it? It is! It's Giorfio! We found him. So Giorfio is currently against the second place player. Yeah, it's me. I did actually, because I didn't know when I was playing against you or against one. At least the first time against one. I didn't know it was you guys, because I had the names off. Fuck, so it's Tearfing? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's Tearfing, personally. This isn't Dwan, so... Alright, guys. Let's put all the pressure on Giorfio. He's only been to Worlds 3 times. At least 3 times. I think it's 3 times. It might be more than that for all I know, but... He's only been to Worlds 3 times. He's never been in such a high-pressure situation as being spectated on a tomato sauce stream. What do you mean this is not V-Friend? It is Tearfing, unless he switched. Okay, okay. I know that Prisoner Tomato was playing regular, as last time I checked at the very least. Right, let's see what we've got. I voted for Giorfio to win, I think, last year. I would love it if Giorfio would win Worlds. I think that would be such a, like, a full circle moment of, like, a player that was, at least in my opinion, quite well renowned in speed. Someone that was just, like, a really strong player respected by most people that play the game, to come to the second mode and also prove that they've got it there. Like, I think Zeta was one of those players that he'd been to Worlds for, like, every single format, right? So he'd gone to Worlds for, like, TCG, he'd gone there for, I don't know if he went there for Master Duel, he went there for Speed, and he went there for Rush. And that was a pretty big achievement. But obviously, I don't think he's, like, performed super well in those situations. Like, he's never had, like, a top 2 finish, as far as I am aware, in any of those fields. So I think it would be great if Giorfio would win. 3 people got 9th place. Nice. I'm going to assume I finished somewhere between 12th and 14th. Somewhere around there. Alright, here we go. We finally get to see the second place when we started this. There we go. Tyrfing the Destroyer is activated. 3 monsters sent to the graveyard. We're going to activate Chaos Coolstars. We're going to discard the one, the only, Crybaby himself. Hold, we win. Do you think we're going to enter scoop mode? So we needed to summon the normal monster to use the skill. We needed to summon the Cool Stars to get a dig. To dig through our deck to try and find what we're looking for. He couldn't get Tyrfing. What if he already has Tyrfing in his hand? Tribute summons out Chrysaor. Activate Chrysaor. Tyrfing in the bin! Tyrfing sighted! One, two. Only gets the 2 attacks. We only have 1 face-up monster, but as we all know, Radius is very, very good at flipping your opponent's monsters face up. There's a 0% chance of that happening. There's always a chance. Alright, British comes down. We're going to use British Effect. Do we have the multiple in the bin? Would you look at that? We have the multiple. Which means we can immediately flip another card up. And then we can get working on reducing their attack all the way down. And then finding a lethal line. Let's see if we can actually find it. Because the big issue here is going to be we need to make room. Oh, I don't think we meant to change that to defense. But if we're going to find lethal, we have to get rid of that monster anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, power meter. There we go. Adds back Lord British Space Fighter. Then are we going to fuse these 2 on the field to keep multiple in the graveyard? We are. So now we can summon out Lord British, bring back the multiple again, which is only possible because we fused it with a spell card and not using a contact fusion. Giorfio definitely knows how to pilot this deck, guys. Guys, I think, I have a sneaking suspicion, Giorfio might be quite good at Rush Duels. I have an idea that might be the case. Now, you know, this might be a bit of a harebrained theory, right? You guys might not agree with this. I think he might be a rising star. So it turns out I was completely wrong about the World Championships thing. We didn't get the maximums. Instead, we got Dark Magician, which was used by Otis, but that was in 7s. I mean, yeah, but Otis just used a whole bunch of random legend normal monsters, so it's like... And he's out of there! Giorfio takes the win. Unfortunately, this match isn't going to count for the final standings. Let's take a look how everyone did. So Prisoner Tomato did get first place, which I believe this was regular Tyrfing. Second place was... Oh, not regular Contact Dark Galaxy. Second place was Tyrfing. Liluan, I don't know. Kiryu, we'll have to go and take a look and see if we can find out what they were playing. And we know that 5th place was Dwan on Tyrfing again. 7th was Giorfio. Where else? Where did we end up? Oh, we ended up at 13th, which is a bit of a shame. It is what it is. How close were we? So 10th was 5,600 was the only way to get in there because of all this 3-way tie bullshit. So I would have had to have won. If I won 1 more game, I think we make top 10. All right, let's see if we can find it. So Liluan was... It looks like Liluan was the one playing Radius. I guess we'll quickly check that out. Just see if that is indeed the case. Okay, so little one is playing Gradius. Oh, I like this Mat and Sleeves combo. That's a good Mat and Sleeves combo, you know. So we'll cut out of there. And then who was the other one that got 4th place? Kiryu Ryu. Everyone should know Kiryu Ryu. Do we have a replay from Kiryu Ryu? I don't think we are going to find one. Which is a shame. He probably stopped playing a little while ago. So we're not going to find out what he was playing. But we know 4 of the top 5. So we had, what? At the very least, we had 3 of the top 5 were on Dark Galaxy, if not different flavors. I think I faced 0 Red Eyes. I mean, yeah, I also faced 0. So what we do have, actually, is not long until another point battle starts. So I'll go ahead and check this up quick. Yeah. If I jump over here. So we have another point battle starting in, I think, about half an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up for that. That's going to be my plan. And then in half an hour, or I guess at this point in about 20 minutes, we're going to just jump into another point battle with a bunch of cool Japanese folks. I face 1 to the top is like Gradius and Dark Galaxy. Yeah, it does seem to be that way. It does seem to be that way. Keep that for me. Yeah, I'll leave it on screen while I type in the code then, just so you guys can see it. Dual room. Enter room. So yeah, it's starting in about 20 minutes. So we got ages. We got all the time in the world to get in. Yo, is that Manicist I see in the room? Crazy, crazy. Small world, small world. I also want to skip that. It's 2 boxes, and I also needed to open this one for the Hero Fusion. Actually, where the hell were all the heroes? I mean, I played against Hero twice. Now Neo was playing heroes. But I went 1-1 against him. The first game, I absolutely destroyed him. And the second game, he went turn 3. He went double Shining Flare with 6,000 attack on each. And I'm just like, I didn't have a trap card. I can't do anything about that. I mean, maybe you could argue, because that's the other thing with the Dark Galaxy deck, is when you use, or when you have access to Voidveil Forbidden Requiem, you're always there like, if this does hit, I do just win, right? Now, if you're like, I need 3 hits to win, you're delusional, right? But if you're like, I need 1 hit naturally of this, so maybe you use the skill to get 1 free hit, and then you just need 1 more hit. And you're like, if I just land that, it is lethal. So you go for it, and then you don't hit it, and then you die in the crackback because you don't have any trap cards. And it's like, Yesterday, everyone was on it. You think battle traps are good now? So traps are in a weird spot. Because it depends what deck you're against, right? If you're against Dark Galaxy, they're going to make Voidveil Beyond Probe and pop your back row before you get to combat. They can also do the same thing with Requiem. If they want to, they can go for Forbidden Requiem, pop your back row. If you're against Dark Magician, which I think is a bit of a mean deck, but it is still reasonably strong. Again, they're just going to summon out a Dark Magician name, either a Sorcerer and change it to Dark Magician or just Dark Magician, and they're going to Dark Magic attack your entire back row away. It really depends on the deck you're against, I think. I think most of the time, Red Eyes is probably going to hit your monsters, which means Red Eyes is still the deck that is most susceptible to combat traps. Because Gradius sort of is, but Spread Bomber still exists. Spread Bomber is going to be hitting back row whatever it can. Heroes are still going to be going to burst Wingman and still, again, trying to pop your back row. So, it's a tricky one. I think right now, my favourite trap card out of all of them has got to be Star Protector's Protection, just because you can activate it immediately before your opponent gets a chance to do anything. And I think that in itself can be really, really powerful. The problem is how many decks can not care about that and kill you through it, right? Like, it's a tricky one to be in. A tricky situation. A tricky meta to navigate. I mean, fair, because it cannot be forced. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those issues where some decks get massively hurt by it. Like, Gradius, how is Gradius killing you through the Star Probe, right? Realistically, they're doing 2,500 damage, and that's it. Now, Red Eyes is a bit better because they're doing 3,500, which means if you activate Star Protector's Protection against a Red Eyes deck, chances are you only get to do that trick once. Because the second time you try it, they're going to kill you. But you do get it once, right? Versus Gradius, the card is insane. Problem is Red Boot and Hero. Yes. And to a certain... I mean, it's not really a problem. It's kind of... In Dark Galaxy, it's not the end of the world. We get my list back up, correct? Or if we just show off the cards here. In Dark Galaxy, it's not the end of the world. Because you can just make a big guy that's got piercing. So you'll get over half your opponent's life points. So against this deck, it feels similar to using it against Red Eyes, where you're guaranteed you're not going to get OTK'd. But that's all you're doing, right? I wish Dark Galaxy had more space for extra stuff, since the deck is tight. Dark Galaxy, I don't actually think the space in Dark Galaxy is actually that tight. I think Dark Galaxy has the problem where there aren't enough good cards you want to put in the deck. It's a really weird problem. I was looking at Dark Galaxy before, and I was like, right, I'd really like an effect that does this, and I just didn't have it. I'd really like an effect that does that. Okay, that card isn't printed yet. I'm just like, where is everything? Thinking of going Red Boot for next point battle? I mean, you can do. Red Boot's obviously a really strong deck right now. I haven't played against it a ton in this new meta, but again, the new meta is interesting. I think a lot of decks aren't going to break into the meta in a huge way. Like, I haven't really seen spellcasters doing much outside. Like, ironically, I've seen Dark Magician performing better than I've seen Seven's Road, which is weird. Because, on paper, Seven's Road has, like, a lot of really interesting tools now. They have a lot of really interesting ways to kill your opponent. They do obviously have a couple of really big weaknesses though, right? Gradius could also play it, but I don't know if it's correct. Earlier in the room, it was full of 7s. Well, I didn't see any 7s. I didn't see any in there. Okay, but that's because the new 7's Road skill is trash. We'll just play it with the old skill then. The old skill was fine. It wasn't the greatest skill in the world, but it's fine. Let's play the old one. I got OTK with double Paladin because I summoned a 1200. Yeah, I mean, that will happen. That can and will happen. Do you know what, though? If you had a Star Protector's Protection, you just send your 1200 attack guy to the graveyard. Bam. Easy. That's what I'm doing. Well, there you go then, Sora. Everything's hunky-dory. I want to try both. That's the interesting thing about this box, is there are so many different builds of the different decks to play. Now, I think it's quite apparent at first glance which is going to be the better version of each deck, but there's still different versions of the deck, right? You can use some older skills, you can use some older cards, or you can go all in on the new stuff, and all of that's really, really cool. I think today I resolved one trap. My traps were extremely relevant to deciding if I won or lost the games. Shady saved me a whole bunch. Widespread I used once, I think, and I used it against a Forbidden Requiem. So it was useful, but most of the time Widespread got popped. Even in my game against you, you had the 50-50, you popped my Widespread, and I was like, I would be in such a good spot if that Widespread didn't get popped. But then I just drew into a good hand anyway, so it didn't matter. It's crazy I milled all of them. That's kind of wild. That is kind of wild. But I guess for now, since we still have 15 minutes till the thing starts, we'll just quickly go through some bits and bobs, right? Because again, this stream's been a bit all over the place. We've been kind of going at a million miles a minute, but we did get some new product, guys. I'm sure you're all playing with it. I'm sure you're all enjoying it. I faced one Gradius and he opened Shady and Compulse turn 1. Well, there you go. I guess it just wasn't your fear then. Are you on just 4 traps? Yes! I mean, the only other traps I would want to play would be specifically traps that are anti-Red Eyes, or a Limit 3 trap that you can't play with White Rider. So it's like, it's awkward. But again, I think 4 traps feels right. Like, you want somewhere between 3 and 4 feels like you have enough traps without going too hard on traps and becoming like a control deck, right? I want a United Pyro skill. I can't decide which version I want to play. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. But they've been very, very strict on separating them. So we'll have to wait and see. But this is the card. I mean, there was a lot of discussion in my Discord server today about this card. And about, is it bad? Is it good? This card is interesting, right? Send 1 Galaxy-type monster from your hand to the graveyard. Then you can fusion summon 1 monster that mentions Transcend Lilac as material by shuffling 1 monster on your field and 1 or more Galaxy-type monsters in your graveyard into the owner's decks as material. So if anyone watched the video that I put out, we have to send a galaxy monster from our hand to the graveyard. We then fusion a monster that lists Transam Lilac by shuffling a monster on our field and one or more galaxy-type monsters in your graveyard. So we have to give up 2 cards, plus the spell card itself. So that's 3 cards that we're using to summon this boss, and then we're getting a boss. So that's a -2 to summon this, which is... that's quite expensive. Like, it's not ridiculous, especially if the card you summon is a game ender, but it's still very expensive to actually summon off of this card. What is Reminiscence trying to do in the Lilac structure deck? I'm crying. I genuinely couldn't tell you, my friend. I genuinely could not tell you. I love Nebula Fusion personally. 3 cards for a fusion isn't so bad. It's not, but you have to think about it in terms of card economy and what other decks do for the same thing, right? So, first off, we can't really search any of this card, right? We can't search the Nebula Fusion. You can't search the Lilac. The best we can do is when we use the skill that we have, we can discard one of our bosses or a fusion, and then we can create out of nothing a Extraplora. And then we could, when we activate this, send Extraplora from your hand to the graveyard, and then fuse it with this, right? That's the closest thing the skill does to help out with this fusion, which is a bit awkward. I've seen like 2 people use it, then not fuse, then scoop. Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit wonky. Hello, Apple Tree. Welcome, welcome. It's insane if you use it for Buster. I mean, Buster is good. Let's take a look at Buster quick. He's over here. Buster Lilac is really good. The trouble you're going to have with this is the biggest shady magnet of all time, right? And it's a bit weird, but you can only get this effect if you pop a face-down card. So, against this deck, if you have the capability to, you could just summon 3 monsters in attack mode, not set any back row, and be like, come at me, bro. Like, what's your opponent going to do? They have to curse a guy face-down. Otherwise, they just can't use Buster Linac's effect. So it's just a 3500 vanilla. Which is, like, that's still fine. The 3500 vanilla ain't bad. But you can play around it in an interesting way. Then you'll get Power Lilac. Yeah, I mean, exactly. But then you have to go into this, and then it's like, well, do you have the Epherai? Because you don't have access to searching the Epherai. So you have to just luck into getting it into the graveyard. Which is not necessarily, like, the worst thing in the world. You get punched by power, which is 6200 at most. Yeah, I mean, again, assuming you have everything you need for it. Because that's the biggest problem this deck has, right? Is you can't search any of it. None of the things that you use to make these cool new fusions are searchable. So it's all just draw it, lol, right? Then they Oblivion fusion you and you die. Well, it depends, right? It all depends. It all depends on what they've got. It depends on what their extra deck space is looking like these days. Are they able to go into Oblivion? If you don't have any back row, then their chances of being able to use things like extra plasma to get extra mills suddenly goes away. Which means a lot of the time, Eternal Galactica Oblivion isn't going to get big enough to actually OTK you. So, I mean, I know, you know, you're just being contrarian, but a lot of the time, it won't actually work out like that. I'll probably only run 1 or 2 of the spell because it will just become a dead draw. What, the fusion spell? I think you have to max out on this because you have to draw into it. I prefer just 1 of the spell. But if you're playing just 1 of the spell, you're no longer using the new fusion monsters as your win con. You're now using this as like a weird tech card that will occasionally do a thing, right? Loki insane that you get a 600 beta for 3 cards. Yeah, I mean, again, the negative is we have to play Epherai, which is not typically a very good card, and we have to find it. But if you do just find Epherai and you're Transam, it's fantastic, right? A way to get over all the trouble is just play Santa, Sorka, and Balloon, and Bringer is over with Splash Draw or Destiny Skill. I don't like Santa Mill. I think Santa Mill is cringe. I think it is really boring to play a card game that has a lot of interaction and back and forth. and then go, I'm just going to try and deck my opponent out. I think that's really lame. Now, if you have the opportunity to deck your opponent out, absolutely go for it. If you get decked out by Red Boot, that's fine. That deck isn't trying to deck you out, but it can deck you out. If your entire win con is just decking out, I think that's so lame. Like, it's the lamest thing you could possibly do in a card game. Yeah, but you need a setup for that, which means you can't usually do it in the early game. I guess it depends, right? It depends. I mean, there's a lot of factors. For me, personally, the way I always look at it is, if your deck needs specific cards that you cannot search with a skill, you cannot guarantee you're going to get them, immediately I dock it a few points on how good I think the deck is. Because suddenly, the consistency just goes down by so much. That it's like, well, how often are you actually going to do this in a live game, right? Brick a lot of 2, because you need to discard a Galaxy for the cost. I mean, that's true as well. Gonna try Light Galaxy this round? Ooh. I feel if you open that spell in multiples, it's just dead. I get what you're saying, right? But that's true for a lot of spells. Like, a lot of the time, if you open, for example, 2 copies of Music Princess Battle Ballet, the second copy ain't doing anything. It's just going to sit there and gather dust. But you're not going to not play the maximum number of that card, because you need to draw it, right? You want to find it. Now, it's not a fair comparison, because the 2 cards aren't exactly the same. But the point is, if it's a card you need to see for your deck to function properly, you want to play 3 copies of it, right? So then it comes down to, does your deck need it to function properly or not? Or is it just a tack? Is it a tech that you're putting in to just try and make the deck a little bit more interesting, have a few more plays, right? I see Gradius get top in tournaments. Is it good now? Yes. I mean, Gradius was never bad. Since Gradius came out, it has never been bad. It's just been underrepresented. So the big thing that changed with Gradius is it now has a new skill, which is a generic Avarice skill, which lets you just twice or 3 times, or is it? I think it's once or twice per duel. You get to take Pot of Avarice from your deck or graveyard, put it on top of your deck, and draw 1 extra card that turn. So effectively, every time you activate the skill, it's a +2, because you get a free card for using the skill, and then Pot of Avarice gives you a free card. So they went from having a +0 skill to a +2 skill, which just is really, really good. I say Light Galaxy is bad since I said it. That means I'm wrong, therefore Light Galaxy is good. Hello, Draco. Welcome on in, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. 1 copy really helps. Well, if you don't play a bad list with so many spell trap cards, then this is usually not dead. Again, I haven't touched it at all yet. I have not played Light Galaxy at all. The decks that I have tested out so far, I've tested out the Contact Fusion Dark Galaxy stuff. I've played the new Dragon skill, the new Loop Dragon skill. I've played the new generic Dragon skill, the Destiny Draw Divine Dragon skill. I've played the new Dark Magician deck. Those are the decks I've played so far. So I've only played those 4. I haven't had all the time in the world. I had to work quite a lot yesterday. I was trying to find games or time where I could play games randomly throughout the day. So that's what I've played so far. I have sort of a first impression based on that, but it is what it is. If Light Galaxy got same skill as 7s, I think it would be fine. Add plus dump a card from deck. Yes. I mean, Light Galaxy's big issue at the moment is you get a plus once per duel. And unless your card quality is insane, that is a really bad skill, right? Even a deck that has really good card quality in Red Eyes gets to add 3 cards over the course of a duel, right? Every turn, for the most part, they're going to get a plus from the skill, which is really, really good. Actually good, WTF. Exactly, it's good, it's good. I wouldn't Avarice be +2 since you get it for free. It's a +2. Well, again, it's a +1 because the skill has given you the Avarice for free, which is what I said. And then it's a +1 when you activate Avarice, because you still have to give up your spell card. So the skill gives you a +1 because you draw 5 cards and an Avarice, right? That's a +1. Then when you activate Avarice, you are still losing the Avarice. Avarice is gone. And then you get 2 more cards. So it's still only a +1 when you activate the Avarice. So the skill gives a +1, and Avarice gives a +1. That's how card economy works. The Dragon Destiny draw, in theory, is good. I have found the most annoying thing about the Dragon Destiny draw, which I'll bring it up now so you can see it. 5 cards in hand, skill gives you Avarice, remove Avarice, 5 cards in hand, draw 2 +2. So it's a +2. Yeah, but I said it was a +2, and then you push back. Like, what do you want from me? If you activate Avarice, it's a +1. If you activate the skill, it's a +1. So it's a +2 total, which is what I said, and then you tried to correct me by saying it would Avarice be a +2. I'm like, wait, I can't win. Alright. I'm Draco. I do not have a brain. Real. But, so we have this skill. Now, can anyone spot the problem this skill has? There is a quite annoying issue this skill has. Can anyone spot it? I'll give you 30 seconds to see if anyone can spot what is wrong with this skill. Because there is something. Let's move the mouse slightly out of the way. There is a big, annoying issue that comes up when you play this deck because of this skill, because of the way it's worded. Yep, Giorfio has immediately found it. So, place 1 Eternity Aether Dragon from your deck on top of your deck, not deck or graveyard. Which means quite often, you will not have any Eternity Aether Dragons left in your deck and not be able to activate the skill. So you're sat there like, well, I need a way to recycle this. And sometimes that's easy. Sometimes it's not. It can be really annoying. Doesn't +2. I mean, that is... it's kind of a +2. So this is a +1. And then you get a discount on the summon, right? So because of that, card economy-wise, you're saving a card, right? So it's kind of. And if you summon it twice during a turn, that's also pretty good. We have Evil Dragon of Darkness, though. Evil Dragon of Darkness puts it back in your hand. It doesn't put it back into your deck. Which means you still don't get the discount on the summon, and you still don't get the free +1. Well, you'll get a free +1 from the dragon, Evil Dragon of Darkness. You won't get the +1 from the skill. Where in an ideal world, you would just activate the skill, pop it back in your deck, on top of your deck, draw it for turn, then activate Wicked Dragon of Darkness, or Evil Dragon of Darkness, whatever his new name is. Add that back to your hand as well, and then get a discount on both of the bodies that you've now got, right? That would be the ideal. But that's... sometimes that's how it plays out. Sometimes it's not. Is there a good monster that can shuffle it back? I mean, there are monsters that can do it. I'm trying to think what I was playing in it. Let me have a look quick. Who was I even playing this deck with? This one. I was playing... no, I was playing Pot of Avarice. I think was the only card I had to shuffle it back. So yeah, in the list I was playing, I was on Avarice. Evil Dragon Darkness looks adorable name. Looks adorable, name ineffective. No, he's fine. He's a cute little boy. Was it also deck on the leaks? I don't remember, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. TSA meta pick. That's the issue. You always want to have your shufflers be monsters, because then you can use your shufflers to shuffle your shufflers, which just makes it so much easier, and you can just use them as bodies to tribute, right? I think they could release Elysium Contact Fusion and make the skill to change the plus for twice for duel. And they could. They absolutely could. If it was deck or graveyard, you could just sneak a single copy into any deck. You could, which is fine. I mean, you do that with Avarice, right? You have a single copy of that. Terrero Bros. The issue with that is it's limit 3, right? I believe the point battle has started. We're going to go ahead and hop into that. Maybe we should play one RB. I don't know, though. The cards is ass besides the shuffle. I'm trying to remember what RB is. My brain's just going red boot. Alright, let's see what our opponent's on. Zuijo. Now, is this going to be Cringe Joe or Chud Joe? That's the question. Red boot to shuffle. Oh, you want to play just literally red boot to shuffle. That is an interesting pick. I don't know if I would want to play that, just because you'd always have to tribute it out for 2 tributes. Unless you summon it off of the new Volcano Dark Dragon, or Volcano Darkness Dragon, whatever the hell it's called. Only real option is level 4 dragon that shuffles 3 in graveyard. Counts 2 summons. Yeah, we'll see. Twin spear dragon or something. Ooh, this is scary because this tells me this might be the annoying deck, and there's not really a lot I can do about that. Alright, we can't use this because he's only done that, which is already annoying. If we set 2... Again, because we don't know what we're against, it makes it so hard to play against this. Like, do we just YOLO and see what happens? Alright, we're going to go White Rider. I'm going to activate the effect and just hope we just get a free plus. No free plus. Alright, that means we probably lost just off of that, to be fair. Which sucks, but it is what it is. We'll go Requiem Contact, we'll pop this on top. I will draw it to hand. Tribute to summon. Summon this. We're just going to have to just YOLO this and just pray. This way we can end on 1 monster. Which might be enough. I mean, double pop means we get to kill 2 of his monsters. Now we should work out very quickly what he's on. Okay, yeah, this is almost certainly Tearfing. Okay. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. Strats from the first Galaxy Cup. Literally. Well, I was talking about, but the dragon only counts 2 tributes for level 7 monsters. Is it only level 7s? I mean, that doesn't matter for the new dragon, Ether Dragon, because he's always going to be thingy anyway. He's always going to get out for 1 tribute. I think Mono is running Shock Dragon. I will say he stole that tech from me. I did Shock Dragon first. It was mine. No. I'm sure we just came up with the same thing at the same time. It was just very funny, though. It's just that easy, guys. It's just that easy. I don't know why everyone's always struggling. Look, first place. We're not going to stay in first place for long, guys. So... Seeing your opponent on Zuijo might be the worst thing in this upcoming meta because you don't know what they play. Exactly. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, right? We were talking about this, about like, you would literally build a completely different board against Tearfing than you would against the Contact Fusion deck. So like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. It's just like, get lucky. Just guess right. First game of RB going second with no traps, no tributes, my opponent's on Tearfing. Never mind, he's not on Tearfing. Excellent. Now you just have to hope that he doesn't just triple pop. I still think it's funny that Dark Galaxy is considered a lucky 7 deck, even after the support. It's just because the cards that end up being good in Duel Links are all cards that require you to mill and then do things based on what you mill, right? There are lots of other Dark Galaxy cards that don't do that, but they're the ones we've got, and they're the ones that we have skill supporting, right? Blue Eyes best deck, no contest. I would like to see Blue Eyes get the rest of its rush support. Please don't set 3 monsters and pass. Well, now what do we do? Like, again, do we just go for it? We'd have to... No, there's no way this hand does it. I can... So I have no way to get both a Requiem and... I think we just have to set 3, set the Shady and hope, right? That's it. The issue is he's just going to go into Probe, pop the Shady. That's the issue. We have to hope he just doesn't have Probe and that he just doesn't get everything else that he needs. I would love to just make this and pass, but I can't. But I could, but it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't get any damage in. I think with a hand like this, we have to just set the whole hand. We've got 1,300 defenders. Hopefully that'll be enough. we'll activate this and just pop this on top for next turn and hope. I think that's the best we can do with this. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Can't beat set 3. I mean, we can beat set 3 if we have the right hand to deal with set 3. We did not have the right hand to deal with set 3. Again, if we had the ability to make Forbidden, I would have just gone Forbidden again. Because Forbidden is not a bad thing to just end on. The problem here is I think he's going to go Probe, pop our back row. Which point we're forced to use it. Then he just does Tear Thing combo. And then we die. Oh! Hold! 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 Things are looking potentially okay. Right, this is still useless. So I'd have to tribute both of these to summon this, use it, and get pop. I'd have to fuse that with something. The issue is 1300 is just not big enough. Right, either way, I think we do just summon this straight up. So we'll go 1, we go 2, we'll summon this out. I think we always summon you next. Activate your effect. 1, 2, 3. Yes. I'm going to grab this to my hand. Goodbye, Legends. Do we use the effect? Because if I get a card in the graveyard, I can use that, which then gets me that. It doesn't change I guess if I did that, I'd have to summon that. The downside is if I mill exactly a Pale Rider, it kind of sucks. Let's go for this. Okay, it's not a Pale Rider. Alright, so now this 13 ain't doing much for me. But I think we use it like this. This gives us one less chance at a pop, but it lets me have a 16, which can attack over 13s. We got 0 pops. We got 3 spell traps. Okay, that went about as bad as it could have gone. So with that in mind, I don't think we do anything else. Oh, I didn't use the skill. I'm a dumbass. I just completely forgot to use the skill. Okay, that's fine. We'll use the skill now. We'll get it set up for next turn, guys. I mean, 1 pop wouldn't have changed anything anyway. Maximum... That sucks, though, because that means this is it. This is what we've got. I don't know, man. Okay, he's passing again. Now, this is a bit weird. So I want to put these back in the deck, ideally. I'd have to tribute both. I then can't do that, so I'd have to use the skill first. With 3 in hand, that means we only have 3 in the deck. We don't have a good way to do that without doing that. I need to get double pop, is the issue. So I guess we'll activate the skill here. I mean, what else can I do with this? Pop you on top. No. Activate your effect. Alright, there we go. Double pop. Okay, so this should clean things up nicely. And there it is. Alright. I mean, that was super sketch. We did have the double trap card to save us, but if he just had a good hand, we would have got clapped anyway. So, killing one guy does nothing for us. My hope was that he had cards in his hand that could save him, but he couldn't get them on the board because he didn't have any high levels. So this is the same guy. So I'm assuming this is going to be Tear Thing again. We're going second. Why do we always find our globules super early? Right when they're just not helpful in the slightest. It's really weird. But I think here we have to go for just the one monster. The problem is, if he does get a really good hand and he can go like, just like double or triple Requiem, we are just dead. But there's not a lot we can do about that. That doesn't really change anything here. So I think we're just going to go for this. We go 1, we go 2. Summon this out. Activate the skill. I want at least one of these in the bin, because then it turns on a lot of stuff. I'm just going to attack over 2. Alright. I think this is like the best we can... Obviously, we'd rather have back row, but we have no way to get to back row. I don't want to have 2 monsters on the board, because I don't want to turn on his Chrysaor. So this is like the best I can do without having 3 monsters on the board. It was this or just 3 monsters. Plus a Dark Hole. Oh man, a Dark Hole device would be so good. Did you know having Draco the Tiny in your deck increases your deck luck? I'm not sure that's exactly how that works. I was actually playing some Crossduel. I was playing some Crossduel recently. And Draco the Tiny is in that game and has a 3D model, which is wild. Alright, summons out Cry. Cry is just a vanilla, so that's at least something we have going for us. Summons out Glob. Activate Glob effect. So now he's probably going to summon out Requiem. Konami really hates Dark Galaxy. I think it's more... Konami know how annoying Dark Galaxy would be if it was at full power. Summons out Requiem. As long as he doesn't have a third... I mean, this is fine, right? We're alive. And his monsters are now in attack mode. Ah, right. That's right. I forget you can do this. He did get a pop, so we are just dead. This is what I mean. If we set 3, we were dead. And if we summoned 1 monster, we were dead. Like, it just feels like have back row or die. Which is a shame, because we didn't draw any back row. I suppose, is this deck, is the Tirfing version really shit if your opponent just has Star Protector's protection? It's him again! Stop queuing, you jerk! Alright, we will just open traps this time, guys. Or we will win the coin flip for once, maybe. Nope, we've gone second all 3 games. And once again, we have opened no trap cards. Okay, we are not destined to win this. We are not the protagonist today. Stops almost all of your pushing. Yeah, there's not a lot we can really do about it, unfortunately. Hey, maybe that'll help. What do we want to do with this? I mean, I can just, again, make the guy. We're probably going to do that. Summon Stalk. Is there a reason to try and get something in the bin? Probably not. We probably didn't even need Stalk, to be honest. I mean, we'll probably put this back in the deck, because there's no reason to have it in the hand. No. Send us. Yes. We go 1. We go 2. Summon out Big Boy. Activate the skill. Pop you on top. No. Activate your effect. We do get a double pop this time. I guess we'll hit this and this. If we can just reduce the number of monsters he's got, that might make a big difference, especially if he needs to go into the Stalk. If he has to go probe, then taking away the amount of monsters he has access to is really important. This is probably just a tier thing. Okay. I mean, I'm not happy about this, but... Adds Pale Rider. Okay. See, this is the annoying thing. It comes down to, has he still got a big board to make after all of this bullshit? And my gut is saying probably. Contacts these two together, goes into probe. No reason not to do this. Now the question is, do we flip ourselves down? Is there any benefit to flipping ourselves down? He's going to get piercing with Tearfing anyway, so I don't really see a point. Is this going to come down to, does he get a pop off of his contact fusion? Is it literally going to come down to, does he just get a lucky mill? He didn't get one. He didn't get a lucky mill. Okay. What do we do with this? That's the next question. So, we can do that. Put that back in. I can grab that. That kind of does what I want to do. Summon. Use that effect. Grab potentially another card. That's going to be stuck on the board. I can use that to get something back. We don't have that. Ah, man, if we had Stalk, it would make this place much easier. I don't think we can fix the top of our deck one way or another. Either way, I'm going to summon this out first. Let's see what he does. No delay. Put this, and this back, because right now there's no reason not to. Then I'm going to just summon this. So he has a delay here. So it's Trap Hole. He has Trap Hole. Okay. I think here we add this. Put these two back. Now, if we activate that, grab that back, that's fine, right? So we'll go Corridor. Grab this. We can go into this by using this and this. We have to get rid of the Trap Hole. Then we could just normal summon this by tributing over this. The issue is, again, this isn't lethal. So it's, do we go for the guaranteed pop? Like an extra pop? But even if we don't, it's going to be gambling either way. I could use the skill. Tribute over this just to get another one of those. Doesn't really change much though, does it? Alright, either way we do this. I think what we do is we don't use the skill. We naturally use this. And then make our decision based on what happens. Because even if I force it and I get 2 pops, I pop both, that's not lethal. So we're going to use this. We get 1 pop. So we'll hit this. Getting an extra guy doesn't matter. It kind of matters. But it's just going to Tearfing us anyway. I think we have to just go for it. I'll take this. That doesn't matter, so we'll just get a battle. We'll swing over and then we'll swing him for 39. I don't think it matters, but we got two big guys, so like maybe we don't just die to just Tearfing. It doesn't really matter though, because his number of attacks isn't based on the number of monsters I've got. It's based on the number of monsters that he mills, so... And there's Christ Seal. Yeah, so we are probably just dead here. Yeah, and he's got the Cataphract. Tell me that wasn't his only one. No, he had two. Okay, yeah, we were dead no matter what we did here. It kind of sucks that our win con here is just like, don't get unlucky. It's not even get lucky, it's get lucky. Because like, the chances of getting one pop is not too bad. The chances of naturally getting two pops is so unlikely. But I think we played to our outs the best we could. Tribute summons here. If he could, like, not hit 3 monsters, maybe we have a slim chance. He got 2 monsters. He only got 2 monsters. How much damage is this? This is 400, plus 400, plus 29. So that's 37. Which means I'm on 14. So if he has another Pale Rider in hand, we're dead. Otherwise, there's hope. Just don't have a Pale Rider in your hand, you jammy git. Don't do it. I guess even Hoplites would do it. I think it's actually more unlikely that he doesn't have something. Yeah, there we go. That's lethal. Feel bad. Feels bad. We tried. I still think we played correctly. I don't think there's anything else we could have done there. Oh. What we're going to do, I think, I'm going to swap onto a different deck. Because if this is just going to be us playing against Tearfing the entire time, I don't want to play against the deck that feels really bad into Tearfing. So I'm going to swap over to this deck. I don't know if this deck's going to perform much better, because this deck is still not like the best deck in the world or anything. But this is at least a deck that has Star Protector's protection, so we can look at those Tearfing players and tell them to fuck off. Play Pyro right now. I just want Star Protectors, because like the thing with Tearfing, what does Tearfing do if they stare down Star Protector's protection? Don't they just lose on the spot? Oh no, it's him. Something tells me this is not Tearfing, since it's Manicus playing a Yuga skill. This hand is not fantastic. It's not the worst hand, to be fair. Star Pro's still good into 7s. Yeah, I mean, Star Pro's good into most things, right? Behold! Destiny draw Divine Dragons! Alright, so that is not going to have 1500 defense unless it's very hyper-specific in what it is. I think the play is probably... I think we probably just start with Evil Dragon of Darkness with this hand. Let's just summon. No delay. Activate the effect. Tribute over to summon. Activate the effect. Let's just get rid of the monster. Summon Evil Dragon of Darkness. Activate its effect. Ah, that's a shame. Yo, is that Magical Stream? Well, now I don't know if I want to set my background. Go get him, champ. So if we had milled, in our 5 mills, if we had milled another Eternity Ether Dragon, that was just lethal. Because we get it out for 1 tribute, that's, you know, 6,300 damage. Hello, Hunter. Welcome, welcome. Not played against the Sevens Tearfing Spice yet. Not yet. But soon. This deck is so ass if you don't get Wonder Fusion. Well, that is a shame. I assume you had like a whole bunch of pieces and nothing to do with them. The fun thing about today is I've already got a shit ton of replays. So I can just do whatever the hell I want today. I'm not farming replays today. I've got a load of Dark Galaxy replays. Everything's fine. We're just playing for fun. We're playing for testing. We're just having a good time. Searching for opponent. Alright, that tells me that everyone in the room is already playing against each other. It's one of those things. There are just some decks that I just don't really like playing against. And, like, I mean, Red Boot or High Tech is obviously one. It's not a particularly fun deck to play against. Like, Tearfing has always been one of those decks as well. So now that it's like Tearfing's got a buff, I'm like, ugh. Unfortunately, there are not enough people queuing, so we're just going to keep running into the same people, it looks like. Opinion on, like, Galaxy stuff? Potential. Potential. There is potential. But I don't think it is fantastic, is my first opinion of it. Everyone's sleeping on the best deck of the former Buraku Magician. I mean, I think that deck is actually really strong, and it's kind of scary how good that deck is. 3 back row. That's crazy. Activate my skill. Destiny Door. Divine Dragons. What do I do with this? I guess we'll go Summon Phoenix. No delay. Tribute. Summon the boy. We'll go for the effect. We'll pop the monster here. We'll summon. Activate. Ah, we didn't mill it either again. Go get him, champ. So this was another time. If we had milled another ether, that was just lethal. That was just lethal on board. I don't want to say we're getting unlucky, because the chance of milling it isn't, like, super high, but, like... It's also not, like, unlucky. Or, like, unlikely. There's a 0 people who like facing high tech. Yeah... Just never been a huge fan of playing against that deck, personally. Yo, is that Evil Dragon of Darkness? Ah, Dragon's Inferno. Well, goodbye, Compulse. Let me guess, double Dragon's Inferno? Set tribute. Dragon Knight of Darkness. Then he activates Fusion. Combining the monsters together. I mean, sure, we'll just hit it with this, I guess. Down you go. Imagine I actually get to keep my Ether Dragon. That would be huge. Okay, I've still got 2,000 defense, so we're probably not in, like, an awful spot here. So now it comes down to, does he sack with the mills? Where we couldn't, will he? He did! He did it! We missed the mill on Eternity Ether twice. He gets it first try. It's not fair. It should have been me, not him. Oh. Oh, that's scary. The fact he didn't take that. Okay. We're just going to go into another one. Boost its attack up. And that's it. Yeah. I guess. I guess if you want to maintain this on the field. 225 is not likely. 2 out of 15 is much better than 2 out of 25. Well, yeah, but that's going under the assumption that he's had, like, the ability to mill all of these cards, whereas I haven't. Feels bad, man. Alright. I activate my skill! Give me my dragons. Okay. What is the order of play here? I think we probably always just summon Harvey. No delay. It's only got 1100 defense. I didn't even clock that that was a thing I had to worry about. Okay. I guess I'll summon this out next. Activate the effect. Just get rid of this. Summon this out. And that's go game. I've played a decent amount of the dragon deck, and I don't think it is as good as just the generic divine dragon draw sense skill, personally. Or whatever it's called, destiny draw. I think it's too restrictive in how it works. Going second again. I mean, this is arguably the worst hand we've opened today, so fingers crossed that that last draw is really good. Go destiny draw. That is probably the best draw we could have gotten. Those mills not spectacular. We'll go ahead and activate the effect. We will never mill it. It is not ordained that we shall find. We'll just get a battle here. What's the average defense of his guys? They're all quite low. I think we have an okay chance of clearing it with this. Let's get him to 25 pass. Behold! Star Protector's protection! Yeah, you can curse, I don't mind. The chances that we die on 55 when he's only got one attack is so low that we should just be fine. Third time facing Manicus. If there's not enough people queuing, then it will do that. Usually, so again, it depends on what kind of point battle your room you're in. In the PGRF, they have a rule, which is if you lose a game, please wait 30 seconds to a minute before you queue again to try and avoid queuing into the same people. But obviously, this is not that. This is just Nanao's daily point battle, so there isn't like an etiquette here. But usually, the loser would be expected to sit out for a little bit. Yo, is that Illusion Strike Dragon Mirageus? Yo, is that Dragon's Inferno? Gets the whole hand empty. That's pretty sketch. Ow. I activate my skill. Destiny draw. Divine Dragon. Well, that's awkward. Okay, let's start with... We get to see Balloon for the first time. Well, we're in third at the moment, which is at least something that's quite nice. But yeah, I played a whole bunch of the Dragon Fusion deck. And I think when you draw well, it feels really, really good. If you draw badly, the skill doesn't do enough heavy lifting to make the deck feel really, really strong, in my opinion. So it's one of those, like, if you just draw well, it feels bloody great. It feels absolutely crazy. I'm going second again. What is going on today? I don't even know if this is... I mean, I'm playing a shit ton of traps. This is definitely a going first deck. Yo! Royal Rebel Bros! I don't know how to play against Royal Rebel playing this deck. I haven't really thought about it. Okay, 3 bodies in a back row. We'll grab you. We got Balloon! I summoned Balloon! He has a delay. Yes, I want an extra body. Alright, from this position, I think the plan is we're going to tribute this. Does it matter which one I get rid of? It doesn't really. At least it shouldn't. I guess it kind of... It depends what he's got. No, we'll summon this out. Hello, I am Eternity Aether Dragon. How may I help you? Go on, do it. He's thinking about it. Yo, Shiny Shady! No. Yes. I want to tribute 2 monsters, all regular-like. Then I summon the Evil Dragon of Darkness. I'll activate its effect, milling 2 Oh, come on. What is that? We were complaining that we've never milling it, and now we've milled all of them at once. Which has actually, like, ruined the game plan. That is so sad. Bruh. Okay, at least we could still use Dragon Knight of Darkness next turn to do some stuff. But that is so annoying. When the pendulum swings the other way. Alright. Now the question is, do we just chill? I think we chill. We chill for now. We'll wait and see what he does. Right, trade him. Now he's Shady and you tribute, use Phoenix to get Ether back. Oh, he was never gonna, like, the Phoenix was always going face down, surely, right? I mean, Doom Metal's fine, because we have Shady. The question is, does he have back row hate, and is he going to hit the Shady? Okay, so this is the decider. I guess it doesn't really matter. If he only pops one of the back row, we just use the other one. Obviously, we'd rather keep the Shady, but, like... Okay, so here... We Shady, we discard this, we flip this down. I kind of want to flip this down. I don't mind having this guy, like, on the field, because he's protecting me from, heavy metal, in case he has heavy metal. Level 4 face up is kind of scary. No, that's fine. Don't worry about that. I've only got 2,000 attack for him to yoink. So now, I think we still just wait. We still just hold. We still have the Star Protector's protection. We will be able to see when he puts a bunch of stars on the board. So if he does have back row hate, we should know that it's coming. Alright, so that's a monster. Okay, okay. Reveals Phaser to summon Cul-de-sac. Okay, that's also fine. Everything's looking pretty good so far. We have a bunch of options here. So we can't use you this turn. Actually, we don't have a lot of options because you're only the turn that you're summoned, and you're also only the turn that you're summoned. You're not, though. Wait, no, you are? Yeah, only the turn you're summoned. Ugh. I don't have room. If I could tribute something, everything would be fine, but I can't, so everything is not fine. Which means, I guess, we're just gonna slap him a bit. Not being able to use this every turn kind of sucks. This would all be solved, by the way, if I could use my skill. But I can't use my skill because all of my targets are in the graveyard. So we will instead just punch. Just keep punching. Never stop punching. Right, we are fine as long as he doesn't activate the skill and then immediately double back for a pop. We're being a little bit greedy. Actually, we should have just done this immediately, really, shouldn't we? There was no reason not to. So I need to make room anyway. I'm getting a bit greedy in that, like, I want him to waste cards, I guess. There was no reason to not just immediately send that. Then again, I could send the level 9. That's also not bad. Then it comes down to, like, does he... I guess by doing it this way, I can wait and see what he does. Because if he goes Doom, I get rid of the 9. If he goes Hard Rock from hand, I can get rid of the 4. Okay, so he's going Doom. So we're going to go ahead and use this. We'll just send the 9. Another back row. Okay. Ow. Okay. This is a really funny hand. So I can go... Where does it end up, realistically? I could flip his guy down. Flipping that up, that card probably has low attack value. Then it comes down to what his back row is. Flip that up, pop that. I'd have to crash this, so I'd have to swing over that. The chances of that being lethal is so low. Alright, let's normal summon this. No delay. Activate the effect. Grab back an Eternity Ether. Then... I'll summon out Phoenix Dragon. Activate Phoenix Dragon. I'm going to get rid of Bloom here. I'm going to grab back Volcano Black. Tribute over to summon out Volcano. Activate Volcano. Summon out Eternity Ether. Draw a card. Activate Eternity Ether. I think we're just always popping you, right? We'll set. Swing over that. Does it matter if we flip this up right now? Does it change anything at all? If it's a 0 attack monster, we don't even have lethal, so I don't think it matters. We'll swing over this. Okay, so he has a battle trap. That's like mildly annoying, but it's really not the end of the world. Okay. Face down pop, double ether. You can't double ether. Double ether is not a legal play, Draco. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that kind of sucks, but... I mean, we might just be fine. It depends what he goes into again. Activates Pog. Summon double ether, not activate double ether. Face down, pop it. Okay, so we're popping a face down, which means we're using Ether Dragon to pop. Then we double ether. 1 ether pop. So we can't do that already because of your own words. Pop with the Warrior Girl? How is the Warrior Girl popping? It can only pop face downs. Think, Draco, think! Use Rising Light to put it face down. I mean, we could have done that, but then we still don't win because he had the thingy. Right, we'll use this. We'll send this. And then we're just dead anyway. Yeah, so it didn't matter what we did here. He had exact lethal, right? No matter what. Oh no, why didn't you get to pop another card? Oh, it has to be face down. Right. Ah, this is lethal anyway, so it did not matter. That's a shame. I mean, that's a bit sad. I think we played correctly, but he just had widespread. Imagine telling me to read when I was right. I still don't think your play makes sense. And also, you explained it unbelievably badly, so that is on you, to be fair. The fact that multiple people in this chat didn't understand what you were saying tells me that you did not explain it correctly. Hello, Toti. Welcome. Are you in a good mood? I'm in a pretty good mood. We've been having some pretty good games. I hope you're in a good mood. Right, let's YOLO a balloon. Let's go, baby. Ah, well, that made me sad. I'm no longer in a good mood. Do I even set this? We'll just keep that in hand, that's fine. Hard Rock Overture. Okay, summons both of them. What's the next part of the plan? Set a back row, set a back row, set a back row. That's horrifying. Okay. Well, what if I Destiny draw Divine Dragons? And then I activate Balloon again. Balloon, please, for the love of God. I can't win. Okay, that's fine. It's fine, guys. It's fine. We'll tribute to summon. No delay. Okay. What do we want to do with this, though? Probably set... I don't really want to use that, but I don't think I'm going to get much of a choice here, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think there's a point in randomly popping a back row here either, so I'll use this effect. It's going to get rid of that. We'll summon this out. Activate the effect. I think we just do this, and then we just go to battle, and we see. No delay is also really weird. Okay, we got a chunk of damage in. How many back row hates has he got back there? If he's got 3, that's going to be super yikes. Okay, that's fine. Please just do not be triple back row hate. That is fine. That is like the worst back row I've got into this deck. Just do not be triple back row hate. Don't do it. Don't do it. You got 20 cards left in your deck. You did not find all 3 back row hate in the top 10. I'm telling you, you did not do that. That's what I thought. You in my hand right now is not really helping. So you're going down. And, I mean, he's probably... Well, he can't even Shady Me because we've got 3 cards in hand, which is really nice. Probably just going to flip you down. Boop, boop. Okay. He can turn it off. All heavenly plus curse. Well, he can't curse us, right? Right now. At the very least, he can't curse us currently. Okay. What do we want to do with this? This is the only scary trap, but I think we need to get rid of monsters if we actually want to get damage in. So we're going to tribute this. Activate the effect. We're just going to get rid of the 2000 defender. We will summon out Shadowbringer. Tribute over it. Activate Curse. And then he just won't have drawn His legend trap. He just won't... Okay, he's drawn the legend trap. Guys, we're dead. Ah! He's got 20 cards left in deck. How has he found all of the stuff that he needs? Okay, we're probably dead here then. I mean, it's Royal Rebels. The only saving grace is he doesn't have access to the skill that lets him grab cards back to hand. Okay, so if he just doesn't have another Doom, we're actually not in a bad spot. The problem is, guys, I think he's probably got another Doom. There's the Doom. Okay, that's 18 plus 25. If he doesn't have a normal summon, that one doesn't count. That's 500 damage. That's still not lethal. Oh, we can't even get the 500 because we don't have a monster. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. We're still in this. He's got Star Pro. What do we do about Star Pro? Can we play around Star Pro? He just sends the face up. Then we need... We pop the other one. Right? And then we just win. So we summon. Hold. Star Pro is activated. We activate the effect. We add back my Dragon Boy. Hey! We live! We're fine! Everything's okay! You guys were getting worried over nothing. Ah, you crazy guys, you. Alright. It would be nice if we could stop queuing against the same people again and again, but I think that is probably just going to keep happening, unfortunately. I think, as Gale, today's point battle is probably not as lively as the other days, because we just had the official point battle. Alright, we got the same opponent again. If only they used the effect before the pop. What would that have done, Draco? What do you think that would have done? I'm trying to work out if you don't understand how the card works, or if I'm misunderstanding what you're trying to say. Let's go with this. Let's see what he does here. That's fine. Hard Rock Overture. Okay. Bro has the OCG goodies hand. It's such a yummy hand. Doom Metal and Heavy Metal together. Draco trying to go Cyclone tier. I don't even know what that means. I think here we probably do this. Now, does he have Curse? Even if he has Curse, this isn't like super punishable. Destiny Draw! Divine Dragons! Stop drawing lots of them when I don't want to draw lots of them. It's very annoying. Okay. Whatever. Is this lethal? No. I don't think there's any way to actually have lethal, because we're always capped at 2,500 damage. We're not far off, though. There is no way to sneak it onto the board, which is a shame. So what I think we'll do instead is we will just tribute this out. This should force the trap card. If he doesn't activate the trap, he's a dum-dum. Okay. So now we set. We'll summon out Shadowbringer. Activate Shadowbringer. Bring back Evil Dragon of Darkness. So I like having lots of bodies. Then we'll just go battle and we'll just swing. Okay. Once again, I'm going to be greedy and I'm going to leave my trap card on the board until he summons a monster, because I can play around his different bosses in different ways by sending different cards to the graveyard. Increase attack of his Doom and one of your guys by 500. Doom effect, Doom attacks for 3k, then you're at 200 life points. So Ether can't activate. I'm trying to think, did I use Ether in that last turn? I have, like, the memory of a goldfish. Do we do this now? He's going to yoink that and try and attack over that. What I could do is just get rid of my big dragon. That way, it plays around him having thingy. It plays around him having curse. Well, I guess he couldn't curse me anyway. I guess it doesn't really make a difference either way. This way, we take... I guess we take more burn damage this way. Oh no, he can't use the effect. I'm an idiot because it has to be a high-level monster. Excellent. That works out perfectly then. I will grab back my Destiny Draw Dragon. I will tribute to summon my dragon again. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. How does he keep doing it? What is the next part of the plan with this? I don't really need this, so I'll probably just set it. I'll probably set this as well, because I already have that in hand. It's a little bit greedy, but... Get in for another 25! I already lost 3k due to game freezing. Well, that's not ideal. I finally won a game. All it took was swapping to cuties. Excellent. That's what we like to hear. You can't curse your cards in hand. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In my mind, I was like, when I activate my trap, I'll discard a card. Because my brain was merging Star Pro and Shady together. Perion, the Star Knight. Perion, the Star Knight. Ah, and he's gone. Two more days of this stupid event. Thanks, Konami. All good speed content coming. Do you really want, like, Labyrinth? Isn't Lab, like, one of the most, like, toxic decks in TCG? Like, is that something you actually want? I don't know. It's a weird one, because, like, I always thought Drytron was super toxic, but it turned out it wasn't really Drytron that was toxic, right? So it's like, maybe it's fine? Like, I don't know. No way to get a discount. Feels bad, man. What we will probably do is just shotgun the Avarice now. Quite happily get all of these back. We'll leave one of these in the graveyard, I think. I mean, that worked out quite nicely. Balloon is Giga Gambling. This is just a free extra body. Okay, there is a delay. What does your delay say? Nothing. Nothing here. Okay. Activate the effect. Bring back Evil Dragon of Darkness. We will go ahead and activate the Evil Dragon of Darkness. I will then Tribute 2. Summon out the boy. Shady! That's crazy. What are you doing? Then we'll go Curse. Hello, 100 attack monster. This is Evil Dragon of Darkness. Hey! My uncle plays that deck as well, unfortunately. Lab set Floodgates and TCG. We should be fine in Duel Links Kappa. Ooh, okay. It might, again, I think this is another Drytron situation, where the deck has been, like, besmirched because of TCG bullshit. And that is not actually how things necessarily translate into the way the deck is meant to be played, right? Only choice Crimson, the Trap Lover. I mean, I think trap cards are fine, right? I mean, isn't the Eldritch deck that was doing really well until maybe, like, a little bit recently? Wasn't that, like, basically just a trap deck? I think Dewan was playing that a bunch, right? Which of you is Potato Sauce? It has to be Soromir, right? It has to be Soromir. Wait, did I miss the button? I absolutely missed the button. I went to click members and fat-fingered so hard. Player! Up at 69. VTuber. This is the guy that got second place just now in the other point battle. This is the guy that we were farming before in the last point battle. This guy. Potato Sauce! There he is. That's the guy that we were playing against earlier who's playing tier thing. 1 point above us. Giorfio! We've got Imma, Happy Danny, Sunryu Santi. There's a lot of big names here. There's Hit. Everyone is here! Loves Geislab and Eldritch. I'm surprised he didn't say he likes Chainburn. Chainburn, funnily enough, isn't really a trap deck. It's more of a spell deck. It's a weird one. I guess it has a lot of, like, traps, but, like, the traps are generally tend to be draw traps. It's like Reckless Greed, Jar Greed. Who's X-Cat Crop? This PB is just everyone opening their Legend Trap turn 1. I will do my best to live up to your expectations. I'm not going to beat the accusations here. Go, Balloon! God damn it, Balloon! Why do you suck? Sorry, my bad. Ah, it's Balloon! Oh, I see yours lands. I hit one of my few level 7s. I feel wronged. 500 lifey pointies. Curse of the Rising Light? That is bullshit. Okay, we'll go ahead and do this then. I don't want to take a load of extra damage for no gain. Ah, 2 cards stuck in the old handy pandy, I see. I activate my skill! Destiny draw Divine Dragons! Oh, he's gotta start Protector's Protection. We felt it. You can't hide it from me. Okay, what are we doing with this, though? I mean, we have plays. They're just really weird. But, like, they are plays. They are plays that we have. I guess we'll just, like... Now, how we do it is a little bit awkward. Alright, let's go Phoenix Dragon as step 1. We'll activate the effect. I will send Shadowbringer to the graveyard, and I will add back Volcano. I'll tribute summon out Volcano. Okay, it's going to hit us with a Shady. Gets rid of the spare Star Pro, so he stirs the Star Pro down. We'll tribute and summon out the mighty Eternity Aether Dragon. Compost? That's pretty funny. Okay, so with that in mind, I guess I'll go Shadowbringer Dragon. Activate the effect, bring back Shadowbringer Dragon. I'll tribute my Shadowbringer Dragon. to summon out Eternity Aether once again. And there's the Star Pro that we knew was coming. We can activate the effect, pay the 500, pop that. Then we'll just go to battle phase and just get him for 25. And then we pass. Everything's looking pretty good. Maybe I should count how many times my opponents will open pot tier 1 versus me in the Dynasty tournament today, unless I lose early. That could be a quite interesting stat to track, to be honest. Yo, Balloon summoned Balloon! Oh! Pog! Alright. We scrambling. Okay. Plotty effect. We gaining. Setting a couple back rows. Tribute set. Interesting. I activate my skill! Give me my boys. Okay, so that's probably got 500 defense, let's be honest. So, our best bet is probably... I don't really want to summon that, so we're going to summon this. Let's summon and see if there's a delay on this. No delay. We'll activate the effect. Let's take a Looky Loo at this one. Okay, there's a curse there. That's easy enough to play around. So here I'm going to tribute over this. Treat it as 2 tributes to summon out this. I'll activate the effect. Actually, we might have just had lethal here, to be honest. I guess we don't know what the other back row is, but it shouldn't really matter. Yeah, I think we just had lethal here if we just used our trap card, but it's fine. Okay. 4th game freeze. I'm done. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate, Soromir. So this just shuffles a level 6 and a level 7 or 8. Okay, that's fine. So that doesn't actually do anything right now. Yo, is it Lilius? So we'll combine them into Lumiere Frontier. This seems like a good shady target. So I guess I will discard you. And I'll target you. I guess I'll target Harvey. Take my 15. Lower. Summon Plorty. Okay. Plorty boost life. Tribute for Flower. Flower's effect. Add back Lumiere. Tribute for Lumiere. Okay, we're going into another Lumiere Frontier. What's the list? You want to see this list? I can show you my list in a minute if you want. Then I'm going to compulse it. Go away. Tributes for Flower. Flower effect. Grabs Plorty. Tributes for Plorty. Activate Plorty. Boop. And we know that's curse, so we just win. We'll just have another look at it. Just a double, triple, quadruple giga check. That is indeed a curse. Boop. And a boop. We did it. Alright, I'll show you my list quick. Look who both opened Legend Trap. I mean, we both did, right? It was a fun little doubler. Alright, this is the list I'm playing at the moment. I will say, I do not think this list is perfect. I do not think this is the best way to play this deck. This is my day 1, I guess now day 2 list. And it is fun. It's fun to play. But I think this could be optimized a lot better. But this is what I'm working with at the moment. Alright. Now we'll just go again. But the main idea was, I just wanted to swap to a deck. It's now YouTube! It's the YouTuber! Oh no! I'm gonna get stage fright playing against my favorite YouTuber. The sad thing is this could be Tearfing, and we have not opened a trap card. Alright, let's start with Balloon. No delay. We'll activate Balloon. We'll bring this back. In defense is probably fine. We will go ahead and use Curse. Let's flip this one up. This could be either. This could be either or. With this hand... Yeah, okay, we will do this. I will activate your effect. I'm going to pop this. I'm going to summon... Tribute both to summon this. Activate your effect. And it is Tearfing. Okay. I don't think we're going to risk this being a 1300 butt. Oh, I can't attack with that anyway, because it can only attack position monsters. I remember. I always forget that with Shock Dragon. I always forget Shock Dragon's little line of text that says it can't attack. It has to attack position monsters. The funny thing is, yesterday, I misplayed it because I forgot it had the effect at all. And today, I went, okay, it has to attack monsters, not it has to attack position monsters. Now, since he summoned that, there is a huge chance that he is just going to summon out Probe and pop my back Probe. Man, it sucks that we're playing against this deck and we just didn't open our Star Probe, which is the one thing we wanted. Okay, discards draws. Into Probe. So we'll do this and this. Now, are we just dead? That is the next question. There's a good chance we are just dead here. Let me guess. Tribute 2. Summon Chrysaor. Mill 3 monsters. Why didn't we tribute the set monster? Isn't this just less damage? What is in the hand? What could he possibly have that makes this the correct line? Surely you always tribute the set monster. How much damage is this? This is 4 plus 4 plus 16. So we are fine. I mean, if the last card in his hand isn't like a usable card, I guess it doesn't really make a difference. Ouch. But if he had a 1500 guy, which he has like quite a good chance of having, Wasn't that just lethal if he just tributed the set? Hello? Okay, we got a lot of things we can do with this. So we can pop that. This has 17 defense, so I'd have to attack over it with that. I can just pop it with this, actually. I need to make sure I sequence this very correctly then. So if I summon that, I need to get that back. That's fine. Summon that. I can use that effect. I need to not fill up the board because I want to get the extra on that. We need the extra 2500 attack guy. So we're going to go All-Seeing Harvey. Oh, it's only got 1300 defense. Okay, that could be important. We still haven't specialed. I still want to use your effect either way. So we'll use you. Grab this back to hand. Tribute over you to summon you. Activate your effect. Summon this out. Activate your effect. Let me just get rid of you. Are we actually 100 off lethal? Was there a way to get lethal there? I don't know. Did we misplay? Did we misplay there? I mean, my biggest misplay was just not knowing that he had a low defense value. It just hasn't come up yet. To the bus from class, but with headphones. Now, was talking to a friend from class on the bus earlier. Hello, Isla. Welcome, welcome. Okay, that's fine. This comes down to, if he just gets Requiem, we lose. Like, he just needs Requiem. If he just gets Requiem, we're just dead, right? There's Requiem. Okay. Adds Pale Rider. And Tearfing. Okay. Summons Pale Rider. He had a 1500 attack monster last turn because this is a card he kept from a previous turn. Right. I mean, we always do this. This is the best chance we have. 34, and then activate the equip spell, and that's just game. Damn. This was a close one. I mean, we got him down to a hundy, right? I do one. I mean, to be fair, he should have won last turn, so there's nothing like too surprising about that. I guess we actually got betrayed that our monster is a light, right? Because if we weren't light, he wouldn't have got the bonus 400 attack or 600 attack, whatever it was. And then we would have lived. But again, we should have lost last turn anyway. Ah, it does suck that we didn't get the Star Pro until it was too late, right? We got Star Pro and we were already on 1500 life points, which is just not when you need it. We need Star Pro in the open. Which, I mean, it's a shame, but it is what it is. Okay, this is the guy that was playing Tearfing in the other point battle room that got second place. I could not tell you how to pronounce this name, but that is who this is. I mean, this is a hand. Again, I would really like to go first. I would really like to go first. It does not seem like that is in the cards. Oh my god, please. I mean, what do we even do with this? I think we have to summon this. We have to summon this. We have to use this. Then it comes down to, do we have another monster on board, or do we just set 2 back row parts? I might actually just do this. Like, I don't like it, but the alternative doesn't feel much better. So Polaris? Is that how you pronounce... Is that read as Polaris? Alright. He's stalking. Throwers always be stalking. Into probe. I mean, do we just let this go? If we flip it down, we lose a card from our hand and not a lot else changes. So I think we just let this go. The only thing that changes is if he has a bigger, like, a Chrysler to go into. It makes our job a lot more difficult. Adds Pale Rider. Adds Tearfing. Do 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 do. I think it's read like Pararisu, but it means Polaris. Ah, I see, I see. I mean, it's good to know. There's some people's names that I look at and I go, I know who that is because, like, I've just seen their, like, kanji written out. But I have to get used to it. Because obviously it's not my first language. Like, it's not remotely my second language. So I just... we're deciphering as we go. The fact we're discarding Chrysaor is a little bit worrying. Because Chrysaor still outs me because he has Tearfing. Okay, the boy is here. I mean, I'm not dead. So maybe we just let this go. It's a bit greedy, but right now we're not actually taking a ton of damage. Like, it's a lot of damage. But if he doesn't summon another monster, yeah, this is kind of fine. Like, it's still 3,200 damage. Okay. There's no way that set has any kind of relevant stat line. I suppose we start with Harvey. We have no way to flip it down, so we don't have to worry about that. So we'll just use Harvey and take a quick peek at what this is. Right, Tearfing is there. I mean, I should have known that, really. There was no reason for it to be anything else. Bring this out. Create 2 tributes to summon. Get rid of that. Then the question is, are we summoning you? Probably... I really want to get greedy. Excellent. I think we knew it was a 16, actually. So I really should just not have an awful memory. Okay. I think we vibe for now. We'll see what he does. Always with the bloody stalk. I mean... it's gonna happen, right? Summons out Glob. Okay, this is fine. I think we have to flip down the stalk. Or the probe. Yeah, but we don't get to say that. We have to flip it down. Pog. Okay. It's going to force out the second one as well. That's annoying, but... or are we going to discard? Okay. Okay. So now it's going to come down to, do we sack with the mills? Because he needs 2 mills, right, to get lethal. He goes up to 39. That's 40. No, he doesn't need any mills. He just has lethal. He has exact lethal. That's so annoying that it's exact. Bruh. Watch him get a double pop anyway. He doesn't even need it, but watch him just get the double pop. Just to rub it in my face. Yeah, we're going to fill up the deck with as many as possible to try and increase the odds. He gets the double pop. Again, he didn't need it, because he has the equip spell, so it was lethal anyway. I guess what we learnt there is you have to shotgun the Star Pro either way. I think you just have to shotgun it. Like, immediately. Which feels really bad, but you can't afford to take any damage against this deck. Because theoretically, we're playing like a counter to this deck. Not really, but like we have a crap ton of trap cards to specifically deal with getting OTK'd by this deck. And it just seems like it's just not mattering at all. I mean, to be fair, when we played against Nanao, we got them down to 100. So we were so close. And when we played against him just now, we were close. Like, we were close to winning. I don't know if it's more about learning the matchup more, or if it's about knowing what we need to change in our deck. But yeah, this new tier thing build is horrifying, and I don't like it. Hey, it's S2000. This is a guy I just see playing a bunch. He's just always playing in like point battle rooms and stuff. Oh, we're playing against Pyro. Theoretically, I should be pretty good into here. Because... Oh, that's not a good hand. Oh god, that's the worst hand of all time. Christ, we might just be dead already. Well... Hello, Alex. How are the new decks? Well, you have just come in and jinxed us with the worst luck imaginable. We have opened the worst possible hand, and we might actually just die in one turn here. It's fine, Pyro is ass. Yeah, but when you've got one defensive monster and nothing else, anything should be able to kill you. Fiery Blaze, yep, there's 300. Only 57 left to go. Activate Ember. Bring out Salamander. Okay. I mean, so far this ain't too bad. There's Order. That is exact lethal. Jorfio lied to me, guys. He told me I would be fine. The one game, by the way, we actually went first. We actually went first in our last game. And we opened that. That is so sad. That is so sad. Oh, Georgia versus Manicus is a pretty spicy one. Let's check out what Huki's playing. It's one of those things. I don't really like Secret Order in that deck, just because it feels like Secret Order punishes people from who just draw badly. It feels very Winmore, which is the one reason I'm not a huge fan of it. In my opinion, Pirate is better than Rebels. In my opinion, hasn't changed. I think they're kind of on the same level for me. I think Pyro and Rebels are about equal. That's how I kind of look at them. I think you could swap them around however you want. I don't think there's a huge difference between them. So Huki is playing, looks like regular Contact Fusion against the heroes, but the Elemental heroes are not the hero of this tale. Contact Fusion. Here we go. Oh, massive whiff on the forbidden effect. Feels bad. We do still get him for 33. If we got one hit there, I think we just won. I think that was just lethal. I'm about to bust Wingman. Comes onto the field. Pops a back row. Go ahead and reduce. Grab the fusion. Activate Hero Descent. We're going to bring back 2 of our precious heroes. We're going to fuse them together. I'm guessing Flame Wingmen. Oh no, second burst. What is the extra deck looking like in heroes now? Because something had to go, right? Like, are we taking out Voltic? Are we taking out, like, the second copy of, like, Flame Wingman that some people were playing? Or the second copy of Voltic, depending on which build it was? Contact Fusion. Beyond Probe. Pop the back row. It was just a star restart. Activate the skill. We are going to draw into. Use the effect. Contact Fusion. So this is going to be, what, 43 minus 12? So that's 33. Oh my god. That is so funny. That's 200 off lethal. And then, there we go. Curse finds it. Curse finds it. Curse always finds a way. Ended up going 11-4. Dark Galaxy, not too bad. Yeah, I think Dark Galaxy is really good. I do think, though, after playing a bunch... God, there's only one game left. After playing a bunch, I do think that the Tearfing deck just seems better. I don't know who X Cup Crack is with the gold. We got first with Sizz. Unfortunately, it looks like we might not get to see Sizz. I wanted to see what deck he was on, but... we already know what Huki's on. X Cup Crack. They are also not in the replays. We already know this guy was playing Tearfing. This guy was playing Tearfing. So it's regular Dark Galaxy. Tearfing. I don't know what Giorfio's on at the moment. I would assume this... Oh, he said he was playing High Tech. We can have a look, though. Scissors playing Tearfing. You don't know X Cup Crack? Is that you, Dwan? RB. Riding a Russia duel. You tell him, guys. You tell him. I'm curious to see how this deck was performing. Because, I mean, Giorfio did quite well. We did just tank 2 losses right at the end, which kind of sucks. Like, that last loss was just awful, right? But I'm curious to see... I'm wondering if the Tearfing deck is actually going to be kind of cracked. Like, it feels really strong. It's the Speed Duel GOAT. He often plays unique decks with, like, spicy decks. Ooh, I see. Yeah, if it's not someone who is very specifically a Rush player, I'm usually not very, like, in the know of who they are. I don't want to see Dark Galaxy slop on ladder after people start playing it more. Well, the thing is, Tearfing is, like, it's also still just a brain-dead deck. Like, it's very, very easy to pilot. So, like, just by comparison, it is just the easier version that is probably stronger. So, it's a weird one. Oh, we shading. Supersonic Fusion Enhancement. Go ahead and grab back. Add the Dragon Burst Fusion. We're going to activate Curse of the Rising Light. We're going to draw some cards. Go into the Blue Fang Burst. Now, are we going to get to see something magical? Because right now... I mean, what does this represent? If we have a level 7 dragon, we can get a 4500 that can attack twice, right? That'd be 2000 plus 2300, which is not lethal. Thank you for the follow, Tarif. Welcome. Tomato Senpai. Where the draggiest list, or the D-Gala list for me to net deck. I mean, we'll have a video coming out. Probably tomorrow about our Dark Galaxy, because it's the deck we got the replays for at the moment. But I can show you the list in a sec after this. I just thought we'd watch this. It's the last game happening in the tournament. Ooh, that is awkward from Giorfio. Let's see if Manicist has the punish or not. he had the trap. That's not too surprising. But either way, you don't really want to leave a 300 attack monster on the board, right? It was probably another Shady. I mean, you should know, right? Like, the only thing maybe it would... Like, because you activated spells, so you'd know if it was Compulse. If it was on draw, then you would know it's Star Pro. So it has to be either Shady or the Execute Trap, right? This one, Capture. Which is when you put normal or special summons a monster face up to the field. So it could have just been this one. $300 is not an issue? Okay, okay. I mean, I don't know your back row is. We'll see what happens. Lowers effect. Grabs back layer. What new stuff is Execute playing besides the new fusion? Some lists are playing the balloon. The balloon... What's its name now? Bullier? 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 I don't know. Whatever it's now called. We'll just call it Balloon. They're now playing Balloon. Oh my god, cringe tech bar. Right, there's Star Pro. Okay, this is what we expected. If you leave a low attack monster in attack, you're probably going to have that. The question is, do we have the Curse to punish? Are we even playing Curse? We haven't seen it. Maybe we don't have room for Curse because we're playing all these extra trap cards. Set. Go to battle. We slap in. I mean, this is sort of the worst case scenario for the high-tech dragon deck, because they really don't want to be dealing with your opponent's annoying trap cards. Supersonic Fusion Enhancement. Go ahead and add back the Booster Wyvern from the bin. Flip up Star Replacer, put it back in the hand. Summon out another Star Replacer from the bin. The thing is, you have to imagine that at least 2 of those back row are live from Manicust. Which means playing around this is very awkward. Because you have to either pop them or force them, right? So the question is, do we wait until we have the ability to pop them all at once? Do we try and steadily force them where we can? Right, here's Capture. That'll flip Red Boot face down. There is Curse. That'll get us another draw too, but our deck is looking kind of thin. Now, it shouldn't matter too much, because this deck just recycles a crap ton, but we still have to have access to the red boots, and they have to successfully hit the board in order to recycle. There's already 1 in the bin, there's 1 on the field. Here comes the second red boot. Here comes the Shady. As Manicus slowly flips his entire own board face down. Phoenix Dragon. That gets us access to another red boot. Don't let them shuffle! Right, adds the red boot to hand. Tribute for red boot for the 3rd time this turn. It's compulsory evacuation device. Get back in the hand. Can we summon it a 4th time? Set. Set. Means we can if we want. Are we doing it? Tribute Red Boot Boost Dragon, the 4th summon. Hello, Cyclone. Welcome, welcome. You're watching the match of the century between Giorfio and Manicust. Okay, 7 cards back in deck. Straight to battle. We get in over the Lilius. Okay, so we try to prevent a contact fusion as best we can. He's got no way to flip my stuff face up anymore. It's alright, you'll just do it for him. It's fine. What's in the graveyard? Which graveyard do you want? So here comes Leia Frontier. So in here we have 3 Curse. We got 2 Shady, 1 copy of Star Protection. We did opt to leave these 3 in the bin. So less skill targets. From XQT, we're looking at 2 copies of Lilius, 2 copies of Flower. That's kind of the big stuff. Out comes Leia. Set 2 back row, set another monster in defense. We're going to attack him for 900. Right, so there are only 2 skill targets in Manicus deck. Not Manicus deck, in Jorphio's deck. Let me guess, we're going to get rid of our face-up attack position monster? So we can only attack once. We have no way to pop these cards out of the way. The question then becomes, are we playing Flapdragon? Because Flapdragon is all it takes. If we just have access to a Flap, we have a way to win. Reveal the red boot. Add Booster Wyvern. Why not deck out XQE? I mean, we might be able to. We can mill them for 9, but they'll still have 5, like, more, right? So they draw 3. The more that they can contact Fuse as well, they fill their deck up. Can't forget about that. Now, it's not a great way to keep your deck thick, but it is a way to add on a few extra turns, right? That would require him to play Flap. I think this is a really good argument for why you should play at least 1 Flap, even if it's just as a tech. Because 1 Flap that you can just keep throwing back into your deck, drawing into it and giving you a chance at lethal is just good. So our deck is a little bit thin. Low-key QT ain't bad. But is it QT that's doing the heavy lifting? Or is it just the army of trap cards? That is the other question. Like, is QT doing well because it gives you an extra trap card? Or is QT doing well off of its own back? That is not the milling fusion spell. What kind of deck was QT in the OCG? It was like a... It was kind of a little bit of everything. It had ways to control the game, as well as you could just swarm the board really easily and put a load of attack on the board. That's what made it so annoying. It just did everything really well. It could control the game really well, and it could OTK you really well. It's more the new Fusion plus Balloon, but yeah, the Shadies do help. Balloon's just a really good card in general, though, right? Now, you can make the argument Balloon is better in a deck where you have a bunch of level 6s, but as long as you're not hitting boss monsters, there's no difference, right? But the downside of playing it in a deck that isn't an Execute deck, or I guess a Gradius deck, is you have a higher chance of hitting like a level 7 or an 8. But it depends on how many you're playing, right? A lot of decks are only playing 3 or 4. So the math shouldn't be too much different on it. Okay, we healing. Tribute for Lumiere. So if we have the Lilius, we can go for the Contact Fusion. There is the Lilius. It is time, I would assume, for a Contact Fusion. Obviously, we don't know if there are any delays. But with no cards in hand, I think we just always go for it. By their powers combined, they become Lumiere Frontier. Okay, Lumiere Frontier's effect. Shuffle 1 face-up monster on the opponent's field into the deck. So, Little awkward. Now we contact Fuse again, but this time into the brand new boss monster, Leia Frontier, in defense mode. All of that was for a single draw. Straight to battle. We slap. Now, how many traps does Manicus still have to protect him? We have only seen one copy of Star Pro so far. So he could have just an extra Star Pro ready to throw out. There it is. Probably going to send a face-up attack position monster. There we go. Really good game, though. There's definitely a lot of back and forth. I would imagine this is probably a little bit frustrating to actually navigate. Because think about it from the player's perspective, right? Manicus is like, I kind of want to kill him, but I can't, because I just don't have, like, the oomph. And Jorfio's like, I want to OTK him, but he has a million trap cards. He wins, I misplayed. He can Blue Fang OTK pop. He needs the spell card, but yeah, he can. He needs this. I wonder if you could just get into a stage where he could just burn you to death as well. Don't have the fusion spell? Uh-oh. I assume that means you don't have a way to get to it either. Because, the other guy, what's his name? The guy that you can search with the skill would just get the fusion spell back from the graveyard. Oh, the game's still going. Manicus thought it was over, but never punished. I already searched it. Yeah, but what I mean is you can use the skill to search the spell, but you can also just use the guy, right, if you have it. I forget what his name is. What is his name? I'm going to look it up quick. Striping Wyvern. Then you can add a blue Dragon's Burst Fusion or Dragon's Boost Fusion from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, Striping Wyvern, that's the one. That's the one. Obviously, you can't search Striping Wyvern if you've already searched it, but, you know, if you just had one naturally in hand. Okay, but I didn't have it in hand. Yeah, but I don't know what's in your hand. I was just like, maybe you've got one, and then you don't need the skill to search it. Kind of dumb, though. Uh-oh. That's not good. Had to make RB. I'm trying to think how much burn damage you could have just inflicted. So, like, these guys are 6. If you could get 2 of these guys out, burn for 12. Get out RB, burn for 7. That's what? 19? Fused together? Assuming we have access to the red fusion, which we probably don't. Because, like you say, we didn't have any way to get the other one back. But if we did have the fusion access, that would have just been an extra 900, and that would have been lethal on its own. Probably still fun, but I could. No, just normal RB and burn. It was more for the recycle. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. I know what you were saying. I understand you wanted it for the recycle, but I was just trying to work out if there was a lethal line just from burn. Because obviously it's something this deck can do, right? You've always got to be like, okay, can I mill them? Can I burn them? Can I OTK them? Do I have to manage my resources more? Okay, we scramble them. We're getting back Lilius again. Contact Fuse. Into Lumiere Frontier, who doesn't have an effect. This is just a vanilla. Lilius face-up defense. I want to point out, by the way, the point battle that this game is in ended 21 minutes ago. I just want to point that out, guys. This is a long-ass game. This is the game that when someone's like, what do you mean they're still on game 1? The round's nearly over. Alright, adds Dragon Burst Fusion. So we have access to it. There's no back row to stand in our way. And Dragon's Burst is going to end this game because there are no face-down monsters on Manicus Field, which is sort of a weakness of this deck. It's not about points, it's about honor. I think it's just more about the testing, right? Like, both players know that the other one is at least somewhat competent, and therefore... Oh, only pops one. In my mind, I was like, oh, this is AoE. No, that's not how that works at all. I'm just being a dumbass. Alright, so this pops that. We use the card we get back to pop that, and then we just need to attack once. Okay, yeah, this is lethal. This is lethal. It was a bit more of a roundabout way to get there, but yeah, this is still lethal. He wins Revive Blue Fang pop. Yeah, well, so we pop into Revive Blue Fang into pop. Into slap. Or we shuffle them back. I'm pretty sure we don't need to do any of this. Activate the effect of Blue Fang Enhanced Burst Dragon Burst Pop. Bring back the Blue Fang. I know what little tweaks I got to make now. And that's the important thing, right? Is that you got some good experience, got some good testing in. That's the important part. It's always the important part. But congratulations, Giorfio. That match means literally nothing other than some really good testing. But still, Giorfio with the 6th place, just outside of top 5. Where did we slip down to? We slipped down to 9th at the last second. Feels bad. Feels bad that we went all the way down, but we still did better than Potato Sauce. That's the important thing. That's the most important thing. Played around a card I don't play. I'm on 0 MST. That's quite funny. I mean, that's kind of us done, right? The stream's going to be ending in a minute. I guess we'll quickly just talk about some of the other new stuff because, you know, why not? This deck is neat. I haven't tested Light Galaxy at all yet, but from what I've seen, it looks fine. Transam Nebula Fusion is a cool card. I don't know if I like it yet. I'd have to test it to really find out. It's one of those cards that I think when I do actually playtest with it, I might really like it. On paper, I don't like it, so I'll have to wait and see. Set my traps or die just to do it. Yeah, so stop asking him. That's the real way. I think a lot of people are quite disappointed by this box. I think this box is interesting. I don't necessarily think this is like a super crazy box. There's definitely some cool shit in here. I do think my gut feeling of like the first impression of this set, I think Dark Galaxy is just the best. And I think Tearfing is the best version of it. Then it'll be like the Contact version. After that, it gets a bit weird. I actually think... I don't know, it depends if we count E-Heroes as well, because E-Heroes is just really solid around them. Just all the time. Like, E-Heroes is up there. They're probably at a similar level. Heroes is probably a little bit better out of the new box stuff. The next step down after them, I would say, is probably the Eternity Ether stuff and the Dark Magician stuff, ironically. I think those two are actually a little bit slept on, and they're actually both pretty good. It's a fun box. I don't think this is the best box, though. You owe me a list. Okay, I'll show you my list. It's fine. It performed well because a lot of people are on it, but the power level doesn't feel higher than the old decks. Yes. I mean, I think the power level of some of these decks is comparable, right? Like E-Hero, if we're counting this as a new deck, this deck is obviously fine, right? I think the new Dark Galaxy stuff is comparable. Now, is it better than the old decks? That's a whole other question. But I do think it is at least in the same ballpark, right? Whereas I think when you start getting to the other decks, that's when you're a little bit like, okay, these are noticeably weaker than the old decks, right? I don't think Sevens is probably going to be as good as the old decks. I don't think Dark Magician is. I don't think Light Galaxy is. And I don't think the Eternity Ether stuff is. In my opinion, the loser of this box, as sad as it is to say, is the Luke stuff. I think the Luke stuff, the same as last year, is just not up to snuff. I think the deck is really cool. It's really fun to play. And if you get lucky, is really strong. If you just draw a really good hand, this deck can like pop off. But it just feels a little weaker. It feels like the skill just isn't quite as good. It feels like a lot of the time this deck just feels a little bit underwhelming. But in some games it feels amazing, right? So it's like, I mean, not the best deck in general. Isn't it super bricky? So it kind of is. So the way that it works out is, if we go ahead and get the skill up here, because of the way the skill works, you can always send a card from your hand to the graveyard. So if you're stuck and you're like, oh, I've got Dragon Knight of Darkness, I don't want it in my hand, you just send it to the graveyard with the skill. So like, I never played this deck and was like, oh god, my hand is full of crap, I can't do anything. What I did find was that if you try to go into the new boss monster, Eternity Aether Dragon, not getting a discount on this summon sucks. So quite often, you'll be like, oh, I can like do some plays. And then you'll look at your end board, and it's like, Eternity Aether set pass. And it's just like, this just feels like crap. But if you open like Evil Dragon of Darkness, or if you open, even better, is the, where is he? Is he down here? This guy, Shadowbringer Dragon. If you open Shadowbringer Dragon, it feels really good to go like, activate skill, reveal Shadowbringer Dragon, grab Dragon Knight of Darkness, then we could summon Dragon Knight of Darkness, use its effect, then a lot of the time we could even tribute over Evil Dragon of Darkness for the vanilla, or, you know, whatever else we're summoning. Then we can, after we've got out the vanilla, who's ideally not really that great, we can then normal summon Shadowbringer, Shadowbringer bring back Evil Dragon of Darkness effect again, ideally find an Eternity Aether Dragon, then we have a fusion play lined up, we can go into Eternity Aether if we want to pop, but the thing that I think really lets it down is we can't search Shadowbringer, and this is the best way to get like our best play going, because this is normal summon, get me a free summon, and that summon gets me a free card back to my hand. So this one normal summon represents 3 cards. This is a +2 if everything is set up how you want it to be, right? But because you can't search this, he's not a search target, he's a search enabler, it can get kind of annoying. Dark Magician is ass too. Dark Magician is Saki. Dark Magician, if everything goes well, if everything goes as the Dark Magician player wants it to go, this deck is kind of bonkers. The problem is, it's not going to happen every game. It's going to happen once every 2 games, or, you know, something along those lines. A lot of the games, you'll open your, look at your hand, go, this doesn't do anything, and just lose. Whereas this deck can just summon out a guy that has like 8,500 attack, and just kill your opponent with just 1 attack. That's what this deck can do. So, it's very, very sacky. It's very unlikely to happen, but it can do it. I want to try Dragonic Slayer X Darkness Dragon build. I think you're trying to spin too many plates doing that, to be honest. Sorry, it's Artifact Execute. Dark Galaxy looks okay, but the old decks are better. I think the Tearfing version of Dark Galaxy is comparable to the best decks of the old format, personally. At least I saw no levels and so many traps. Well, you play Balloon as your low level. This is your low level monster, for the most part. Almost everything either summons itself or summons something else in QT. I have a question. Why can't we summon Nightbringer Dragon in Luke's new skill? I mean, do you want Nightbringer Dragon? Like, I couldn't tell you the reason why, but this thing is not very good. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to play this card anyway, personally, but it is weird that you can't summon it. But yeah, that's my first impressions of this box. There was some more stuff to go over, but we are kind of out of time. So that is going to do it from me today. So we're going to go ahead and raid. I think Brian is actually streaming, so we should raid into him. We don't get to raid into Brian very often. So I'd appreciate it if everyone could just hang out as we just say goodbye and then raid into Brian, because Brian's lovely. Everyone loves Brian. Brian's one of the pillars of the Duel Links community. We should all love and respect him. But I will be back again tomorrow. I will be doing the watch-along for Zexal. On Thursday, we'll be back playing more new box decks, and we will probably be doing another point battle on Thursday. That's probably going to be the plan. He said almost Kim Friend. Did I say almost Kim Friend? I don't think I did, but maybe. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!